you dig it? Can you dig it?
Wait, he just said you pronounced the guy's name Christian.
No way.
Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah. Yeah.
Where?
How is that Christian?
Yes. Yep. Hello, everyone.
Hey, are we live?
We are indeed.
I'm sorry, I was on my phone,
We're
man.
live. We're
Hey, look at me. I must be a millennial.
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Dude, isn't it funny how it hurts your feelings when people say the truth?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That door's.
Yeah, the door's wide open. I can feel it. I can feel it breathe on my nuts. I got a lot of papers here in front of me for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. I think some of these are old ones.
Oh no.
Yes, apparently so. We have
New
Mickey
news.
Dolenz on the show tonight.
No.
Taylor Nation and Jay Roddy.
Oh, man.
What the? We have all kinds of people coming on the show
Oh
tonight.
boy. What's happening here?
This is unbelievable.
There's that thing has arrived.
There
on
it is.
Stage.
And let's start off the evening here. Welcome everyone who tunes in, dude. We had over 10,000 people view the podcast last
Really?
week. Yes,
Wow.
over 10,000 views. People love Mickey.
Thank
Dolenz.
you, thank you, thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah, like you said, you don't get a lot of people that come on live, but they watch it throughout the week.
That's
and,
awesome.
and it's pretty cool. And Mickey was great to have on. We will talk about the movie, The Zombie Wedding, which we did premiere here with a lot of city people, and a lot of people that were in the film were here. It was really cool.
And I think we also got to say in the beginning,
Yeah.
a very happy birthday.
Well,
to
that's
our-
where I was trying to get to. With my fucking girlfriend's birthday. Asshole. I know.
dude.
Literally, why don't you step on my dick?
Oh, man.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Come here.
Wow. CT.
Anyway, happy birthday to my lovely girlfriend, who is also our producer, Kaycee. But CT had to step on my
Sorry,
dick to get
sorry.
there.
Yep,
there
that's
she
the
is.
wrong one.
Wait. I
Yeah.
was going to say she fucking left.
Made everybody mad.
Yeah, no. That's what I was trying to get there. But anyway, happy birthday, hun. She is officially
Thank
old
you.
now.
I am old.
She's up there. She's hitting the she's not as old as you yet, but she's up there.
No, I mean, hey, it would take a divine intervention for that to happen.
It could happen. It is possible. But no, happy birthday. We went to this
Thank
great place to eat. What was it called again? First something?
First watch.
First Watch.
First watch.
It is a chain, definitely.
First Watch.
Because there were several of them, like when you looked them up, but it was really good. It's like a brunch place in Sewell.
And so, yep.
really
Yeah, it was
good.
really
New
good.
Jersey.
Yeah, it was over by the hospital.
Yeah.
And it was attached to the Chipotle that's in that one
It
shopping
sounds like
Sewell,
an
New Jersey, home of
investigative
the funniest
reporting
venue.
show.
It does. It does.
First
I thought, well,
Watch.
for me, I mean, that's a military thing for us,
Yeah,
like
I'm
First
saying.
Watch and stuff. But it was actually, and I guess it's because it's a brunch thing. You know, it's
Okay.
First Watch, you're up for brunch.
Gotcha.
But it was really good, man. It was
makes sense.
definitely, we had to ride, 30 minutes, an hour.
He
there and
complained
back,
about the drive the second the food got put down. He took his first few bites.
I drove
he
here for this.
started shoveling it
Bro,
in. I was
it
like,
was
"You're
banging,
not a man."
bro.
I can't stand
Nope.
driving there.
It was
It's
good, though.
terrible over there. Washington Township.
It was
Oh.
good. Well, of course,
cheese.
The
of
back
course we get the
roads.
the 5 points intersection there, and there's one car on top of
Oh,
another
yeah.
car.
Yeah.
No cops there yet. Get it right. So of course everybody's out. We go by, and all of a sudden 1, 2, 3, dude,
That was Vineland today.
dude. How do you need so many police cars going to 2 cars in an accident?
Mhm.
And then we're 5 miles down the road. Here comes like flying, like cutting people off. I'm like, yo, bro, there's already 10 guys there.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
I don't think we need you there. And then finally an ambulance. When we get to the hospital, just
Isn't
pulling
that
out.
the most important?
You
Yeah,
think that would have been the first one to get
Yeah.
and a fucking fire truck the size of
Numero-
like Cleveland.
Numero
Speaking
They
of
put the
Cleveland.
fire truck because that one car
Yeah.
was leaking like a sieve.
Yeah, that one car was no, dude.
Yeah.
It was a bad wreck. But I'm
Really?
like, of course, here we go.
Yeah, I
that
got
area
stuck in.
sucks.
Pe-
Yeah.
the
I
people
got
were all
stuck.
okay. Like everyone was out of
they
there.
were sitting on the
Yeah.
on the curb,
They were
so they were all
That's
fine.
good. Yeah, I got stuck in Vineland High School graduation traffic, which then turned into traffic on Chestnut.
Now, that's
because
tonight.
people rear-ended each other.
That's tonight.
yeah.
Thank
it
you,
was-
Patty, and thank you for my flowers.
Yes,
Very
so
much
that's a
going on.
Tuesday, a graduation on Tuesday, man. Yeah, guys are getting out of school, kids are getting out of school, man. We saw the
Oh, they got it all blocked off, dude.
yeah, because they graduate here, you have to go to school down the other side.
Yeah.
I guess because of the football field. is
High
there.
school graduation?
Yeah,
I think they have 2 high schools. Don't they?
no, that's no longer a high school, but that is a huge football
Ah.
field. Yeah,
I thought there
it's-
were still 2.
Yeah, no, that's now a city municipal building of
Nice.
some sort. Yes, yes.
I knew they had the administrative stuff for the school there.
We got all kinds of stuff
Yeah,
going on there.
yeah, I got the
Yeah, I
sweat.
know. I know the school I teach in. We graduated Monday, which I thought
It's
was so
weird.
weird. Yeah, it's weird to graduate.
I think
on
you
a
should just
Monday.
always push it to a Friday. I mean,
Yeah.
just so the kids like they enjoy themselves. They can go out, go
Got
to
a
the
couple
shore.
extra days, kids.
Well, yeah, we used to go to the shore
Yeah.
like after graduation.
Oh, yeah.
Or something. Like, what are you gonna do?
Senior week.
Yeah, Tuesday night you're gonna go to a shore.
They made
What are
us
you gonna
Yeah,
go
that's
to
weird.
the
It is.
Harris Sam's afterwards all night long. We didn't sleep. No, it was dude, sweet.
do?
That's
Just
awesome.
the hair. That is not like
They bust us all to
That's
Harris
for, like,
Sam's after
babies
graduation.
and
Yeah,
shit.
you think that, but when it's a bunch of you and it's
Yeah.
all like
Dude,
friends,
let
there,
me
it's a lot
say
better.
something about Sahara Sam's. It's now called
You had a
Big
plus one.
Kahunas. I have a membership. I take the little
Wait,
guy
did they call?
there
They changed the
constantly.
name?
They
Yeah.
got
Do
new
they still have
owners.
the Diggerland where you can like?
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
right next door.
Oh, that is so cool. You get to run the
Yes.
machines and stuff. My dad had construction companies all his life, so I had to do that shit for real. But as a kid, to be able to sit there and operate,
Mhm.
That's
oh,
yeah.
that's
I
so
plan
cool,
on taking
man.
my son at some point.
Dude,
But
that's cool.
Big Kahunas, which used to be Sahara Sam's, what they did with the outside, like their tiki
Mhm.
bar outside is
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
fantastic.
It's pretty cool.
Well,
Pretty cool.
Big Kahuna used to be a big club in Delaware back then.
Yeah, I remember that.
Kahunas.
Yeah, that was a big
Kahuna.
club down there.
What was the other
What happened to that?
Hawaiian thing that was around here all the time? The big volcano.
I know on Delaware
Hula
Avenue
Hands?
there was a place
What was
called
it?
Coconut
Hula
Grove.
Hands? No, Hula Hands is
Hula
like
Hands
a normal
was,
place.
Yeah, that was a good place. I haven't been there. Is that even around anymore? Hula Hands?
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, but they're like it's like a
Bartucci's? That was another cool
Wasn't
place.
there a Holy
I don't
Hand
even
right
remember.
down the
Tucci's
street?
contest,
Oh,
like a
Tucci's is good.
$500 gift card. Do you know what I bought with the $500? The place was right next door to my dorm in Boston. Yeah, I bought $500 worth of rolls. I don't know
Oh,
that
dude,
I bought.
they're banging.
I don't know
Yeah,
that I
but-
bought any pizza.
Yeah,
I
Bartucci's
literally
is good.
walked in and was like, "Can I get $100 worth of rolls?" And
Yeah.
he'd be like, "Sure, why not?" I'm like, here you go. Here's my gift.
Well, they
card."
had to do it.
I'm the one
Yeah,
that
Italiano,
your
it's a
ad right
Bartucci's.
up here. I'm the one that took that.
Now,
picture, so.
rolls like sandwich rolls.
Dude, the
Oh, you
dinner
never had a
rolls from
Bartucci's?
No.
Oh, you
They're
got to go,
it's
man.
the pizza dough that they take
Yeah,
out. And
it's
they
like brick oven
roll.
pizza.
Hey, how
plates
many
and
they
Pretty
give
everything.
you
banging.
for like $100? Well, back then, how much?
I
Probably a
don't even know that
fucking small
there was a
carload.
count. It was a fucking dude. It
They
was
just
bags
throw 'em in a
full of
trash
shit.
bag.
Literally. That's
Now you say, "Can I get $100?" Where he cuts one in half?
yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. No,
And
but generally, I think
will
bought
say,
$500
I will
worth of
say,
rolls.
and it was a reasonable. Like we had appetizers,
Mhm.
and it was reasonable. It actually
Nice.
wasn't as bad as you would think. So, which is very rare now.
Well, a
So-
lot of these
but again,
places.
Real quick, it was eggs and potatoes. So it wasn't
Oh,
like
yeah,
it wasn't
I
like
hear
they were going out of the way, but it was banging, man. It was so good, wasn't it good?
A lot of
And
these
fresh.
places
Everything was
anymore,
fresh.
like there's
Nice.
no point in going to fast food anymore. It's as expensive, if not more
It's
expensive.
insane.
That's
Then
what we were
eating
saying
at
while
a
we were
solid
there.
It's in the
place.
name. It's fast, not cheap.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I
It used
saw.
to be cheap.
Did you see?
but-
It came up on our
So we
ring
don't call it
our
cheap
ring
food.
cameras
Dollar
today?
menu.
Did you see what came up on the ring cameras?
No.
It literally said, "I got food poisoning at Popeyes."
Oh
Don't
yes,
go
I
there.
did see that. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I
Oh,
commented. I
man.
said, "Tell the health department," because somebody would
Yeah.
tell them on us, right? It's funny, man. It's like it's. But you know what? That's what happens. They can't sell the food.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose money, and they end up now you're these restaurants, especially chains, because they get away with murder, man.
Yeah.
They really do. They get away with murder, and here they are. They're serving stuff because it's just they don't want to lose money, and you
Yeah.
know there's a guy in corporate going, "Just that chicken's good for another 7 days." You know.
Well, there was a thing going around that was talking about all the chains that were going under, and I felt like no pity for any of the chains
no.
because they
They made
it's
their money.
garbage food. It's
Mhm.
it's
And they
not-
made their money over the years.
I
They made
agree
their-
with that. I mean, the whole reason why Red Lobster went under, and I kind of got a chuckle out of it, was because they offered a endless shrimp promotion, and people were eating so much shrimp and made them go out of business. That's why Red
See,
Lobster.
I would
had the
say it was
Can
problem.
we
more
get a
like-
Red Lobster
Yeah.
correspondent on?
Yeah, I would like
Over to you.
because there's a lot of
Former
those-
Red Lobster employee over here. I
Hey,
didn't
see-
work during Endless Shrimp. I worked during Lobster Fest. Though.
Yeah, but what happens with a
The
lot of
food
those
sheet.
is that's the excuse they give you, but it's actually just the corporate guys just like packing they know we don't want to say recession or anything because God forbid, we inflation isn't up 34% over the year, but the what happens is they'll pad stuff. They'll start giving themselves bonuses up in their because they know they're going to close the joint, and they basically that's what happened with Toys R Us.
Mhm.
Toys R Us, the managers were literally stealing left and right from every store, filling their pockets. They were doing it's a scam. Don't do this at home. They were taking so you would go in and buy an Xbox, right? And you get the Xbox and they give you, they'll sit there and talk you in. Oh yeah, this. They give you, boop, and they keep your card.
Oh man,
Not to steal from your card, to refund your Xbox. You call and go, I think I left my card there. And they're like, oh, you did. It's right here, Mr. Jones. You come and get it. They refunded your Xbox cash.
Wow.
So they refund $300 back, put it to the side. At the end of the night, they refunded 4 Xboxes, puts it in his pocket. And they're doing this like with
Jeez,
all the big ticket items, man. And they literally put them out of business. Yep. And it was like this whole bunch of these guys doing it all at one time. I know, because I know one of the guys that was doing it got put in jail for it.
Wow.
But
There you go.
But isn't that
Ringing
crazy though?
endorsement.
But that's literally what they do. They sit there and find a way to milk the company, and then they just kill the company. But they walk away with tons of money in their pockets.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it's
true.
It's pretty crazy. But anyway, here we are, Kaycee's birthday show, Absolute Vodka live at the Landis podcast with Michael Kelly Guitars as our co-sponsor here. Oh, by the way, Michael Kelly sent us one of the. I didn't bring it on tonight. They sent us one of the new mandolins. One of the.
They're out.
But I'm going to bring it on next week, and we'll look at it and talk with Steve Pisani, Uncle Steve, about it, and see if he can give us a little in depth about it, because it's there he is. It's definitely gorgeous. I can tell you that. It's really nice. The design's nice, and it sounds great.
It's cool to see them rolling out after talking about it
Yep.
and them taking their time. I'm glad they brought it out.
It's
and
acoustic,
it right.
acoustic electric. It has a built-in tuner and stuff in it. It's really nice. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous little mandolin. I definitely want to learn how to play it. There's not a lot to playing the mandolin, to be honest with you. It's just there's some chord progressions. Once you get those down, you're good. But it's just knowing this, the double string and stuff. And of course, there was a string broken on it, and I'm like, it got broken in the box.
Now, here's my question: what is the difference? And maybe there is no difference between a mandolin and a banjo.
Oh, it's a big difference.
Is there a big difference?
Yeah, especially the sound. Just the sound. Yeah.
Banjo is basically a percussion instrument.
Yeah, it really is. And a mandolin is a Greek instrument.
On top.
Gotcha.
Mandolin's got 8 strings. Banjo's got 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, a banjo is basically like if you took a snare and then ran strings across it and
Gotcha.
played it.
Now, what
That's
about a
gives you that
fiddle?
sound. A fiddle's just a violin.
That's just a violin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
It's
a southern
fiddle's
name
more
for
how
it.
you play.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're fiddling it or you're violining it.
Yep. It's true.
I used to fiddle. My mom used to go, "You're gonna go blind, boy."
Fiddling or you bowing?
Get out of that bathroom fiddling.
I'll do either.
Come on, Mom.
I own
Anyway,
fiddle, but-
we had a really we had a great thing that we had a really good turnout, man. We had like several hundred, like maybe what do you think we had for the movie? Probably like good 200-300 people or more.
Yeah.
Nice.
Came out to the premiere. There it is, the
Oh, yeah, it
zombie
looks well
wedding,
attended.
man. Yeah, we did it all up, man. Gave it that real good that good look. Yeah, man, we had a really
Nice.
great night, man. The place was packed. A lot of these people that came were actually in the film, locals from that were in the film, and their families and stuff. And it was kind of cool because they got to see themselves and they were
That's
cheering.
awesome.
It is cool. It's actually really cool. And there's some of the city officials were here, and it was a great night. And there's Robert, as you remember, he was on the show last week, plugging the zombie wedding. But yeah, we had we did it up nice. We gave it that good premiere feel in there when you went in. And that's Greg. Greg was the writer and one of the producers there. We did the walls up and everything. We made it kind of look really cool. And then, of course, once the movie starts, it's just a screen. We get rid of all that stuff. But people had a good time, and it was a lot of fun. And the movie was funny. It definitely it shows you how beautiful Vineland really could look on film if you give it. And again, it's not. It's a campy film, it's kind of, it's a zombie wedding. What are you gonna do? It's got some good people in it. We got the Sherry O'Terry picture from the wall.
Yes.
Oh man, we
nice.
should have grabbed a clip of that. In one of the houses, which is the Sherry O'Terry's house in the film, there's a portrait of her on the wall. And we looked at it and we thought it was Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Right. And we're like, why does she got a picture of Mariah Carey on her wall, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, that's Sherry O'Terry. And so I said something to Robert, and he brought it and gave it to us. So we kept it. We hung it up out
Oh,
the
that's
door.
cool.
It was cool. We had it hanging on the wall out there. It was really cool. Thank you again, Robert.
Look for
No.
it your next time at the Landis.
Yeah, it'll be here hidden somewhere. We're gonna keep Sherry on the wall.
That's awesome.
Keep moving it around like a ghost.
I guess
Now, is there any thought to another presentation of this show in the
Yes.
future?
Yeah, we're actually. I was talking to Robert. We were talking to Robert today. We were going to bring one of the designers on. It's a makeup designer, correct? Case tonight. Hopefully it's 7:30. 7:30. Oh, excellent.
7:30. Yep.
Yeah, his name is Christian. He actually is a designer that does all. I'm really interested because he does a lot of stuff. I want to make sure he's the same person because I don't want to say, oh, you did this, this, and this. But if he did, this guy's like got some great accolades and a wonderful designer. A really wonderful. You look at some of the stuff he's designed, you're like, wow, this is amazing. But well, I forget what I was getting at on that. We brought some people in. Some of the people that came, he didn't make it. That's what I was gonna say. So he wasn't here for the premiere. There was a couple other people that didn't make it for the premiere. But what we had told Robert is maybe what we'll do is, as we get closer to the release of the film, we'll bring those people on the show.
Oh, like the costume designer.
Yeah,
Olga. Yeah.
and maybe talk about plug it a little, because it's releasing Friday, September 13th. On in a couple of those like those artsy theaters, you know, like how they always have those releases, and then on for download and view online or whatever. I guess I'm not sure what platforms. I'm sure it'll be on most of them.
Now I know, thinking about your buddy, the creator of Monster Mania.
Yeah,
I know I've been to a couple Monster Manias where they've had independent films kind of like had booths of their own and presentations of their own. Maybe that's something they could check into.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of those films that would be nice there. I mean, you definitely, you could have those reunions and stuff there. But I love when they get together. But like when I used to go around to those conventions, plugging our horror movies back in the day that we made and stuff. I mean, they were always fun because we used to have a booth. Well, I had Lionsgate behind us a couple times.
Awesome.
So we had like serious booths.
Yeah, that's hard.
We had like
Lionsgate
really nice
was
stuff.
The horror, man.
Yeah, we had some. Yeah, it was Lionsgate and Weinstein Company. Had another, I can't remember what they were called, Dimension Films. And Dimension Films, I did some stuff with Dimension Films too. And they were another one big back then. And that closed. Like Dimension Films closed up. What were we looking at, Case?
I was thinking about the logo, and my signal to do it was this.
Yeah, Dimension Films.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like.
They used to do it, and I did a couple movies for them. 8 Films to Die For series every year.
Love
yeah.
those.
Oh, they would buy anything.
Absolutely.
They would be like, wait a minute, it's a toilet that comes alive and eats people. We'll take that. That's one of the 8 movies that
With
die
teeth.
for. Exactly.
There was one of those. There was one of that series, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was about this girl that was like, she had a gorgeous body, but a really hideous face. And it was about like she became a killer of some sort. Like I remember loving.
it teeth?
Wasn't teeth? No, I do know that one.
Teeth was so bad.
Oh
man.
man.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just.
There were so many good, though, small independent heart. Like if you go back and look at some of those movies that started, like you look at a good friend of mine. I worked on Guardians of the Galaxy with him. Was Lloyd Kaufman. Lloyd's a guy from Jersey. He does he did Toxic Avengers and all those crazy movies like that. And dude, he's still making movies today, and they're still just as campy, just as disgusting, and just as fun as they were.
Talk about Monster Mania. I know Toxic Avengers always.
Yep.
Like they always have like their corner booth.
Yeah, Lloyd. You'll see Lloyd at pretty much anything. Tattoo conventions. I think the last time I ran into him was at a tattoo convention, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I went, Lloyd, and he looked at me. I said, yeah, we were in one scene of Guardians of the Galaxy where I actually got to do a stunt thing, not working on the writer side. And we were sitting up there and we were prisoners. And I forget, I was prisoner like 84 and he was prisoner 30. That was our thing. And it's so funny because I can't think of his name. The director of
James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn. So we call him Jimmy. So Jimmy gave him he gave Jimmy his first shot at directing with Tromeo and Juliet. So that was Gunn's first directing job was given to him by Lloyd. So of course he always gives Lloyd stuff, right? And Lloyd, he goes, that fucker. He goes, all I did for that kid. He goes, I didn't even get credited in that film. I said, neither did I. By our name, it says uncredited. I'm like, neither did I.
Damn.
I was like,
uncredited.
Yeah, I worked on a couple things with Gunn, but he's cool too, man. But Lloyd is the man. Lloyd is good, man. He's got a niche for these crazy good, like really low budget horror movies, and he's got some like I can't remember the other guy's name. I'm bad with names anymore, but the one guy who does a lot of his makeup stuff, he's Kabuki Man.
Okay.
He's amazing, man. The stuff he's done. He worked on a TV show I did with Tony Todd, and he did a lot of our makeup effects on it. And he does a lot for Lloyd, and he's just good, man. He's really good. He's good at making the really gross stuff. And
it's wild because I don't think we're ever going to get to a part with modern movies that are going to be like that time period. Yeah. You bring up Tony Todd and people like that, and like I don't think we're ever going to see that again.
He just made him. Now I wonder what happened to it. I wish I could get a hold of somebody and ask him. Lloyd made a movie called Shakespeare Shitstorm, and it was literally like it rained shit on.
Oh
everyone.
man,
That's Lloyd Kaufman movies. But and I never saw it. I'm like, I don't know what happened to it, but I remember they were working on it, and I saw the stuff about it, and I never saw it again. He was good friends too with with Kevin Smith and stuff, and
Nice.
He was on the Comic Book Men show a few times. Lloyd's a great guy, man. He really is. He's always out there supporting, the people that work for him, supporting the events and supporting his films and stuff. And Troma's like, hey, it's a New Jersey place, man. Toxic Avenger,
yeah, man.
first superhero from New Jersey, man. I mean, what?
We're toxic.
you can't beat
It's
it.
true.
But this film was a lot of fun. It really was. It was one of those. It was different, and I think that's what I think people take from a movie like this is they tried to do something that wasn't just your typical zombie. This your typical zombie makeup. This they wanted to do something out of the box different.
So let me ask you, somebody who's been in the industry, is there a difference between low budget or a B horror movie? Is there a difference?
Well, a low budget is a B horror movie.
Okay, yeah, that was my question. I wasn't sure if there was like certain qualifications that people put.
Well,
in there
low
for
budget has
B.
changed over the years. I mean, one of our first films out of college we made for like 20 grand.
Right.
That was low budget. And when we saw it for sale in Blockbuster, we're like, oh man, that's so cool. And you're like, yeah, too bad we didn't make any money off it. But low budget now, it's like 1.5 million.
Yeah,
It's gone to it's like the price of food. I mean, everything goes up, but they try to, but it is too. But the good thing is it's helped a lot of the lower budget films become a SAG film, so they can get a big actor, like that one big actor,
right.
that might work for like 20 grand for one day, and you shoot all his shit in one day, and now you got this big name like a Tony Todd, Tony Todd's, in this movie or whatever. And I produced a pilot. I've done a lot of pilots. We could probably see a little piece of one tonight. We have Jimmy Graham coming on, but I've done so many TV pilots, man. And I mean, literally in New York, we were doing a TV pilot like maybe a week.
Wow.
And you'd work on 50 TV pilots, and maybe one would actually go somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're like, and Junkie, some big actors. Like I worked on, I can't remember half the names of them, but I have like pictures even on my phone. And you're like, oh my God, you did a TV pilot with him? Yeah. And I don't even remember the name of the pilot or what it was.
Yeah.
But it just never went anywhere,
Right.
And that's just, but that's a write-off. You know what I mean? It's like we did 50 pilots, this one sold, so these $20 million is a write-off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a loss.
Yeah.
So part of the industry, part of what it is, but these low budget films, they're D-listers, you get a lot of like really bad actors in it, but you'll get some decent actors. And I think that what they did with this movie is they got you a couple people you recognized, and it was kind of cool. And like I said, I just love Sherry O'Terry. I just love her faces. There's an air about her that you're like, it's fun to watch. You know what I mean? It's fun to kind of watch her do her thing. So she's really funny in the film. But again, if they'd have done this film, the typical zombie, the same way everybody else does zombies, this movie would have been bad. It would have been really, really bad movie. It would have been hard. You would have been like, okay. But what they did kind of made it fun.
Yeah.
And especially like I said, they went to the clothes. Like this one of the few movies I've ever seen where you become a zombie and all of a sudden your clothes change too.
That's awesome.
You become like a 70s guy. But it's hilarious. And again, it's fun about the campiness. What's that?
What?
Hey, look, you
Dude.
look like you're thinking about a Gino's.
See,
Philly
you don't know
cheesesteak.
me too well, then, man. You
Yeah.
don't know me too
Yeah,
well.
he's thinking
it's
about
in my name, brother. Where do you think I would go? Where do you think I would go?
penis cheesesteaks.
Steve's, man.
Penis Steve. But we got we got this guy real quick, Kaycee. We wanted to do a read. You weren't here. I want to throw a read in real quick.
Ready for you.
Yeah. If you want to grab that before we get Christian on and talk to him about his deal with this film.
Yes. Which one are we doing here?
No, just do that first one.
Oh, I thought you were.
Oh no. You can go on to Why don't we do the whatever you want to do? Do the second or third one.
All right. Our new addition in concessions, Wanderback Beer Works, now available at the concession stand. We have their perfectly cromulent IPA and their Helles Lager now available. Classic, local, and clean.
Well, we're gonna also have that upstairs.
Yes.
We're gonna start putting the cans upstairs.
Nice.
So
They already
at
have.
Kaycee, yeah, they brought some up this weekend.
Sold out of them.
People sold out and they liked it. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was really, really good.
yeah, so we're gonna order some and start selling it upstairs at Kaycee Ray's as well as the concession. So it's
Hell
really
yes.
cool. And we got, like I said, we got a lot of weird like changes going on as we move forward with with the property and everything. So Wanderback is going to be a big part of everything we're doing here.
Excited for
And
it.
well, we're excited because it's good.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that people are liking it because we're selling out of it. This is that slow time of year. Everyone's going to the shore. Everyone's at graduation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tough couple of weeks right here. So that's why we have no shows like in the theater right now. Next week, we will be talking about our Battle of the Bands, which will be firing up this year in July. This year, we're going to start upstairs at Kaycee Ray's. All the bands are going to audition up there. The winners will come to the main stage and have a big theater show on the main stage. So it should be a lot of fun and a better way to get like people out and be able to, and see a band like you normally would at a bar instead of trying to put them on a venue. And this year there is no online voting because that just became a people cheat.
I agree
man.
with that.
People cheat, and it is what it is. And it sucks for the guys that really did a good job and brought people out and got some votes. And then all of a sudden, one band, from East Jabip gets 400,000 votes. You're like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
From three people.
Yeah, exactly. In the band. So, but so we're going to do away with that. So if they want to win, somebody's got to be here in person to vote. That's all there is to get them in. And then we're working on the prize pool for that as well. Michael Kelly Guitars was also a sponsor. They will be giving away a guitar and an amp.
Nice.
To the winning the group. I'm not sure. I might talk to Steve about that and see if there's even something for concession for like second, third, because I always like to give a little something to the guys that come in second or third, because they try out, they're here several times, and they come back for that show and they walk away with nothing.
And there was
Kinda
amazing talent pool last year.
Oh, they were
so many amazing artists.
Nitro Nietzsche that won.
Oh yeah,
great.
She's
great.
fantastic.
We're still trying to find a way to get them back. I'm trying to find the right band to put them in front of, and I've been talking to the guys from As We Become Ghosts about maybe doing a dual headline show.
Nice.
With the two of them, and then maybe throw a smaller band up in front of them.
And then you had, I think, Strange Velvet was second.
Yeah, they were good too.
4130, I think, was third.
They were great.
Yeah, 4130 is
that was the band I thought was the best.
Yeah,
Nitro Nietzsche was great, and they won, and they were worthy of winning. But 4130, they were my favorite. They were my favorite.
I gotta say, as far as Nitro Nietzsche,
shows that we didn't cheat because they would have won.
She's got guts because I've seen some of her videos walking into Walmart with a megaphone and like just playing her music in the front of Walmart.
Oh, I have not seen.
Dude, it's incredible. I got to show you some of that stuff. Huh. She's got guts to do some of the stuff that she does.
Kind of like that. What's that guy's name with the cone and the sax?
Shit.
Isn't it?
There's so many of them.
Cone sax man or something. Did you ever see him? No, not Sasquatch. Dude, we tried to get Sax. What happened to him? Is he dead? I think somebody hunted him down.
He's playing like big shows now. He's like opening up for like
down by the Men in Black.
Big.
Could you imagine? Yeah, somebody just shot him in the woods. The poor guy's like, "Oh no!"
We thought we saw it. Yeah.
I was shooting a promo video.
Yeah, and he was playing a saxophone. No, I swear,
it's real easy to find him. He was playing a saxophone.
No, there's
a shot from a mile away.
Oh, he is currently on tour.
Is he? That's awesome.
He will be at Music Fest in Bethlehem on August 5th.
See, he's probably doing festivals, and they're probably paying him a couple grand. Yeah, festivals they'll throw money
in the woods in the festival with Sasquatch. Like that's the perfect thing at Firefly or anywhere else.
That Brain Damage plays at?
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. We love those guys.
We'll
I
have
can't
to
wait
ask
for
him
that
how
show.
Sasquatch was.
Sasquatch.
Put in a good word.
Yeah, no, I don't think he would sell. He's one of those bands you bring to a festival. People are like, "Oh, well, bands, guys." You're like, "Oh, he was fun to watch." Ain't nobody gonna pay to see that fucking guy.
There are a couple of those like busker bands that got real big though. Too Many Zoos.
Never heard.
Too Many Zoos got real big. They were in like an Apple commercial and shit.
And apparently, they weren't in enough zoos because I never heard of them.
No, somebody we know was just posting about them the other day. Too.
Really?
I forget who the hell it was.
I have no idea.
I thought it was CT, but
who was it?
Too Many Zoos.
Too Many Zoos. It's one of those saxophone.
I don't know.
Wiggles around all the time.
I've started seeing videos of this guy who will put. I watched a video. If you guys know who it is, please remind me. But I watched this video. This guy had a button and it said "push for the funk," and he would stand there with his guitar.
Oh, I've seen him. He's good.
I like him a lot. I think he's really cool.
Dude, there's a lot of good people that are very talented. And another reason why I think I love what we do here, and we bring it to Vineland, and it's really giving Vineland a name. Is we bring a lot of these talented magicians. I said magicians because I was watching that video earlier where she goes, "You're a magician." Do you remember that?
Oh,
you see that with a girl? She goes, "Would you call me a magician?"
Yeah,
that was in my. But musicians here, and that's what you're seeing. They're out there. They're so talented, but they're not getting anywhere. You know, they're just not.
Mhm.
You know, they're getting
Yeah.
an Instagram following, but they're not making money. They're not
What else
actually
is guy's
performing.
name now? I'm curious.
But that's one of the things I love. A lot of the guys that play this theater are like that. They could have a little thing on the side, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of those that are really cool, and some of them make a good name for themselves.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's a lot. They're a lot of fun. I watch a lot of that stupid stuff. Just sit there and watch
that's
it.
it.
Yeah,
Dude, I'll get
they're
lost
funny, man.
for hours.
Yeah, they're funny, man. Some of that stuff online. But we're gonna. Do we have Christian on yet?
Not yet. 7:30. So you have another 2 minutes.
We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. But so I want to go back to this zombie movie. So did you get any video of the crowd case at all, or just photographs?
I just had mostly photos. I have a few videos, but I don't have them down.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. Because I thought the crowd was kind of fun.
I'm looking forward to seeing
fun.
this movie. Like,
Yeah. Well, again, September 13th, Friday, September 13th, it will be released in limited.
just like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just shot.
Limited theater release, but also online. It'll be released online. I'm sure. I mean, do they even do like DVD releases anymore?
I'm sure they
Anyway.
do. Bands do cassettes nowadays
know.
again. So
yeah, isn't that weird?
it's a thing.
Yeah. Who the fuck are you gonna play it on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, gee, thanks for the cassette.
My 1992 Toyota Tercel.
I feel like there's more people buying
I actually have a cassette.
There's more
player.
people buying vinyl now, but you can buy a vinyl record player anyway. You can't buy a
Yeah.
cassette player.
Oh, I
anywhere.
collect vinyl.
Yeah.
No, I actually, you know who was selling them? Urban Outfitters had Walkmans again, and you would buy the cassette, put it in the Walkman.
Really?
Like we just
Oh.
we're taking steps
We're
backwards
going
just
back
for the,
in time.
just for the sake of doing it. at
What's
this point.
wild
I mean,
is
that's
how many-
not,
Like
doesn't
how
sound
big
as good.
vinyl is really big.
Well,
Like
see,
Yeah, but vinyl
it's
sounds better.
people like me,
Oh,
I
yeah.
never never stopped collecting vinyl.
Yeah.
same.
I'm
same.
glad it came back because it's brought back a lot of cool stores I can go check out stuff.
Yeah.
I look at
We have Christian on.
Oh yes,
ready?
excellent, absolutely. Hello, Christian, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, doing
Good.
great, man. We are here live at the Landis at the Absolute Vodka Presents Live at the Landis podcast, and we premiered this week, this past Thursday, the zombie wedding film here.
Yes.
And I will tell you, we had a nice crowd of people, and everyone really loved the film.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Oh, it got a really good reception. Yeah,
did.
yeah. And we were saying, I think what it is, it's not like your typical zombie. It's not The Walking Dead. It's not that, it was done in a campy fashion, but it made you go, this is kind of neat. I haven't seen anything like this,
Yeah.
It was different. Now you did, correct me, you did the makeup?
I did. Yeah. I by profession, I'm a costume designer. I'm a costume.
That's what I had read about you. So I was surprised that you did the makeup and not the costuming.
Yeah. Well, I did the hero zombie,
Oh, okay.
costume, and not the clothing, but the actual, because originally it was going to be a whole entire bodysuit.
Oh.
Yeah. So then I had done makeup in the past, but not special effects makeup. I did, makeup glamour, they call it.
Okay.
And so I had to try to translate, the hero zombie. I had to do the stages prior to that. So we were trying to sit down, Greg and all of us were trying to figure out what we could do once I sold them on the look.
Yeah.
To do this transformational thing, because they didn't want to just have zombies out the gate, like
Yeah.
once you turn into a zombie, you're a zombie, like in
Yep.
typical movies. So we decided that we were going to do this transformational kind of look, because that's integral to the movie.
Well, that makes sense now, because I feel like the makeup did have more of a glamour feel to it.
Yeah.
I found it appealing though, and I think that's what I found appealing, was that it was different.
Mhm.
It wasn't the same like
Thank you.
gross, like drippy blood zombie stuff you're used to. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when I sold them on the idea, I basically, they were having dinner, and I was given the opportunity to sit down with all of the producers and pitch my line to them. And I said, well, I'm into transhumanism and evolution. And I said, you know, how about if we kind of like look in the direction of like instead of going gross and hideous and
Going glam.
yeah, kind of going right, because it was like kind of like a choice. Like if you're given, instead of, you know, like instead of it being a bad thing, maybe, you know, from what they were telling me, I said maybe it's kind of a good thing. It's like a choice, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
maybe we should like, you know, I started on the journey of like trying to decide what to do then, and so I was like, what if the skin becomes transparent and like glass like,
Ah.
and then
Oh,
by the
that
time
makes
you
sense.
Yeah.
and by the time you hit the full evolution, their skin becomes completely transparent. You can see all the sinew and the tissue and the bones and everything,
Ah,
veins through it, through the skin.
that is a great concept.
Thank you.
I love that.
That's
I love
awesome.
that. I myself, I mean, you know, before coming here and, you know, taking over the Landis and buying the property and everything we've been through here, I was in the film business for years. And I love people like this that come up with something new
Mhm.
and different. And that's a great, I can literally see your vision now. And I think that's amazing because
Mhm.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
And you saw
Thank
it in the film. Like I said, it was like this. I keep telling everybody it's the first zombie film I've ever seen where you become a zombie and you become glamorous. You all of a sudden you're
Well,
we're showing you. I don't know if you can see right now, but we got a
yeah,
couple.
yeah, yeah,
And all of a
yeah.
sudden your clothes get nice. You get a great
Right,
makeup.
right.
It looks phenomenal. Look at the clothes. I love the
Yeah.
clothing.
Well, the clothing was done by Olga Turka, and
Olga,
she,
yes,
yeah, we sat down for like 3 months
that's
because
sweet.
we
Yeah.
got to know each other and everything. And I told her what I was, you know, what I wanted to come up with. And at first they, you know, they wanted me to do the clothing, but I said no. Olga was previously, she had worked on the clothing for the Broadway play of
Yes, that's
this.
right. Yep.
Mhm.
And so she had more of a feel to it, but she decided, you know, the look that I was going with, that hey, if they're going to be transforming, why don't they just give up all reason and you know, and I transform the clothes too. Like they
I
don't
love
care
it.
anymore.
Yeah,
They
I
don't
love.
care anymore in a sense, you
Oh, I
know.
felt like they
And
cared more. They're like, "Hey, man, I got to look good. I'm going out." That was
right. But yeah, it was like, well, in the beginning the look was a little too glamorous because I had just did glass skin and the veins were showing through,
yep.
and I drew my inspiration from several different movies, and Greg said, "Can we just make it a little bit grosser?" So I was like, "Wow, okay." So that's when I started messing with the eyes, like, you know,
Yes, the eyes were
and
very deep set. That looked good.
yeah, so I was like, and we made the, you know, like I made the mouth black inside, you know, to kind of, and then we changed the eye color. That was the first thing. Like
Okay.
the first part of the transformation is your eye color would change. But for, you know, an hour movie, we had to kind of cram everything, the whole transformation. We wanted it to be like an 8-stage thing, but
Yeah.
we just, it was time constraints, so we decided, okay, so the first transformation is they have their eye color changes and their skin becomes shiny. So that was like the first stage,
Okay.
and then you move on to the veins start showing through, and you know, and then the bones well, the skin gets a little thinner,
Yes.
and the eyes get deeper, and you know.
Well, that makes sense now when you see the hero zombie, who is
Mhm.
pretty much transparent.
Yes.
And it's funny because when you say it, the one I noticed the most, because with the main guy, I mean, you see him, he's kind of constantly on film, and you don't really see like much of it. But Sherry O'Terry's transformation
Mhm.
Yes.
was perfect because you literally
Yes.
saw her like, and Steve saw the film here,
Mhm.
CT, who's on our panel here too. He
All
didn't
right.
see it, but she's literally she's getting drunk, drinking champagne
Yeah.
as she's turning into this
Oh, that's
zombie.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then by the end, she's got this mushroom hairdo. Like
Yeah.
her makeup is spot on.
Yeah.
It's like,
We
it's hilarious, man.
Yeah, like we wanted to make it like, you know, that these characters don't really care anymore either, but
Yeah.
they just live, they start to live life with reckless abandonment because it's like over with. They're zombies, and it's supposed to be for the good or bad. They transform, and in this case, I guess in the movie, it's kind of for the good. They learn how to live with it.
Yeah.
And my inspiration for Sherry O'Terry and pretty much all the characters is that Death Becomes Her, where, you know, like when they had to paint themselves, like, so I said, imagine her putting on makeup on top of like her skin transforming, and so she missed her eyebrows, or
she was hilarious. And she's so funny.
Yeah,
she's so funny.
And you know what was cool? I got to real quick, because somehow I don't know how you did it or if it was her that did it, but she's known for facial expressions.
Yeah.
And somehow in the makeup, she was still giving that Sherry O'Terry thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it was great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we like the placement of the veins and everything. Like, I thought about that during the transformation, like, because I grew up watching her. So
I love her.
You know, she is known for those facial expressions and they're hilarious. So when placing the veins and the arteries and like the effect and also the crazy hair and all that, it just linked to it.
The hair was great. Did you do the hair?
Well, my team, I designed the hair look.
You killed it with her hair. You could not have done it better. That was hilarious.
Thank you.
Dude, she gives my favorite line in the film too, which I don't know if it was scripted or if she just dropped it on set, where he tells his wife to sit and she says, if you want her to sit, you better get her a biscuit. I started dying.
Somebody got a milk bone?
Well, somebody got a milk bone?
Right. Well, she did ad-lib a lot. Like,
that was hilarious.
She was like, she added her own things into it, which made it, you know, it made her more comfortable in front of the camera. It's things that she would be known for, you know, her style really came across. Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you one more thing. So we were looking you up online here, and you do some pretty amazing stuff.
Thank you.
Now can you give us, just so people have an idea? I mean, this is you've worked with some big people.
Yeah.
You want to drop a couple names? So
well, that's the reason why I'm not on camera today, is because I'm working out of my studio and I am up to my eyeballs in NDA, you know, non-disclosure forms. So I didn't want to record anything in the background, because I'm working on presently I'm working on 2 new designs for Lady Gaga. And and the studio's a mess with everything all over the place. And then I've worked with Britney Spears, Beyonce, Kim Petras, Ariana Grande.
I was on your website, and I'm actually, I have it up on my phone in front of me right now, and I'm looking at some of these designs. You are absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
This is like some like you can see the Lady Gaga, and the one that you have at the top, you can get that Lady Gaga feel from the first one. See that, guys?
Yeah.
If anybody at home, if Kaycee's going to put up the web address so people can kind of check it out. But look, I mean, this is so Beyonce. Look at this. This is you really do your purses. I mean, these are just gorgeous.
Thank you.
I mean, you have some talent. And I was even looking, I have to tell you, I was on there looking at the men's boxers, and there's some nice ones. There's a swimsuit on there. I'm like, I want that swimsuit.
So he's got the clothing line with the bathing suits.
I mean, I do regular, street clothing. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's swim trunks on there that have like they're like almost like a snake skin look. They're really nice. They're really cool. Oh, I love them. I might have to look at
I took the print that I designed for Lady Gaga for the helmet in her tour, and I just changed up the colors and everything, and then printed them on swim trunks.
Well, let me tell you, you got me sold on them. I think that we got the website's up on the screen now, so people we do pretty good. Like that, we get a good 10,000 views a week, and I want people to really get on here and take a look at what you do, and take a look at your website, because I think I think your work is just impeccable, and I think that's where I was like, wow, he did the makeup. You know, I was like, what?
Yeah, I had to. I was given the it was my pleasure to head 3 departments. It was difficult. I'm not going to lie. It was my first time heading 3 departments. And, I mean, I loved it. I mean, you know, and the town of Landis was amazing. Like, everybody treated me really, really, really good.
Yeah, we had a lot of that. We actually had a couple people on stage that had been in the film, and the one kid was talking about his zombie makeup, and he said it was very exfoliating.
Yes.
He said,
Yes, well, because the technique, right? Because the technique that we wound up going with, because we had to cut the schedule. Like, so originally each zombie would have taken, no lie, it would have taken 2 hours. Then I was told to break it down to an hour. So we tried to break it down to an hour, and which we did, but with everybody's schedules and all the actors and actresses and everything, they're on time constraints as well. So I had to figure out a way to break that down even more, because the original technique that I used was invented by a famous makeup artist, but it had to be airbrushed on. And then and then it took an extra additional hour to remove it. And these actors and actresses are on a time constraint, and when you go over that, you start hearing from agents and everybody. And so I finally figured out a way to do it by just using a clear peel off mask.
Oh, okay. Almost like the who's the guy? He won an Oscar for it too. He did the like this scarring, and you can put every time you come in, you had the same scar. There was a name for the technique. I forget what it was. But he won an Oscar for that. So I started in this business a long time ago. First movie I ever was in was called Eddie and the Cruisers. And I've worked years in it, and I love that you're doing practical effects still, because I'll tell you, like, I went through a lot of shows I worked on, including Boardwalk Empire and stuff, where they would still do practical makeup. I would sit in the chair. I did a lot of stunt work on that show too. I've done all kinds of weird stuff, but awesome. I would sit in the chair for 2 hours just to get my hair done and the mustache put on.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like
you're doing zombie makeup,
and we had to do over 100 zombies.
Oh wow!
So it wasn't fun, and that we had it churning out. We churned them out like it was like a conveyor belt. They would move from one chair to the other. First, they would get their glam makeup put on, depending on what stage you're in, and then they'd move to the next chair, and then they would have the goop. We called it the goop. We put the goop on, and then all their veining on top of that. Then they moved to the next chair, and then they got other makeup put on top of that, and then they moved to the next chair for hair, and then they would be on their way to costume department.
Yeah, it's so funny, because I worked on some of the original Amazing Spider-Man films, and everything was practical makeup. And you would get some of the big actors. They would come in, some of your A-listers would come in and sit in makeup for 8 hours.
Yes.
Shoot for 4. Yes. Spend another 3 hours getting the makeup off. And then years later, I'm working on I forget which one of the Marvel films I was working on, and they for the first time, I can't remember which one it was, but they had me in I was a robot. What was on with the robot? You got to forgive my mind. I've done so much stuff, I forget all the crap I've done. But and
Transformers.
No, it was the
Iron Man.
No, it was the Avengers one, but I can't remember the one with the robots, like whatever the hell. But I came in and I thought, I'm gonna have this cool robot stuff on, and I'm gonna sit in makeup for hours, like they did on Batman and all these movies. And they're like, no, they just put these green dots on your face. They said,
the CGI.
Now we're just gonna yank you through this wall. I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm like, oh yay! But I thought I was gonna have like cool makeup on and all that stuff, and I was like, I just got gold green dots stuck all over me. But I was like. But
CGI.
I love practical effects, and again, Christian, I thought you did a great job.
Thank you.
Absolutely, and I have to tell you, man, it was really nice talking to you and coming on the show, because, like I said, your body of work is really impressive. It really is, and people like you are what we need out there. Just doing something like what you do for Lady Gaga is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
thank you.
I mean, she's known for these costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of what she does. I don't know anybody who doesn't love Lady Gaga. I mean, she's hit every spectrum of music.
I mean, the first thing you think about when you talk Lady Gaga is her costume. And I just think the meat costume was like
and Beyonce. I mean, Beyonce's got Beyonce. She's got that body, and to be able, and when I look at your catalog of work, like on your website, you're like that. You could totally see Beyonce wearing that outfit. You know what I mean? And you do amazing work, my friend. And maybe next time you're in Vineland, we can get you in the studio here and we can discuss some things.
Yeah, definitely. That would be amazing.
Yeah, because I think we're definitely going to show this film again when it comes towards Halloween. It really did. It got a really good reception. It's very campy, and I think
very camp.
I think some of the people they brought in to work on the film again, Sherry and some of the other actors, they did a good job because they were the perfect people for this type of film.
Yeah, they absolutely were. Originally, we were like, wait, these, like are you sure this one is going to match up with this one? But
but it worked. And I had my reservations. And it's no lie, I had reservations. I mean, the zombie wedding, you're like, oh God, here comes another zombie movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I worked in so many things and like, but it was definitely, it was different. And I think that's what I liked about it. It wasn't the same. And it again, I feel like this is one of those things that's going to find a home. And I hope it does, and I hope you guys get they were talking about the zombie vacation, like doing a second.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing that's missing right now from Hollywood is originality.
Oh, absolutely.
The originality is like hard to come by.
But when you get somebody like Xtian to do the makeup like this, that's what adds to the originality. You're not seeing the same thing over and over again. Walking Dead went to basically green dots on people's faces. They stopped doing makeup.
From the videos and things that I've seen and from hearing Xtian talk, the ideal person that I could see in a film like this would have been David Bowie. David Bowie really comes to mind with that.
Yeah, it definitely, it was Bowie-esque in the costumes and even the makeup. Back if you go back to Ziggy Stardust days and stuff. Very, very. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I love Bowie, so I'm a big Bowie fan. But again, Xtian, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Thank you again so much for coming on.
Thank you.
We'd love to meet you in person someday, and please just keep up the great work. Everyone, Xtian's website is on. Can you pronounce the website, because I don't want to say it wrong?
Oh, it's Xtian D'Medici. My name is just Xtian with it. Yeah, it's Xtian is with an X, TIAN, like Xmas, like Christmas.
Yep. Yeah, so we have it up on the screen so people at home can see it and they can go. You guys got to check out his work. And like I said, I'm going to be on there. The next order of boxers and swimsuits you see coming to Vineland, that's me, baby.
Thank you. And thank you for having me on.
Oh, thank you, my friend. We look forward to meeting you someday, Xtian.
Yes, definitely. Me too.
All right. You have a wonderful evening. Take care, my friend.
You too.
All righty. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. You gotta go on and look at some of the stuff, man.
I was just looking.
Isn't it cool?
It's awesome. Thank God he pronounced his last name, because I would have butchered that.
Yeah, well, that's why I
thought
didn't want to
D'Medici.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that either, because he seems like just such a wonderful person. Yeah. So, but that's what talent,
Yeah,
here's a film being made in our hometown of Vineland, where we do all our shows and everything, with some really key people. I mean, this guy's doing costumes for Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Beyonce,
Britney, dude.
Britney, bitch.
Got a whole shrine's worth of things out there.
Oh, man. I'll wait till he comes here and sees my Britney shrine. I love my Britney. I know. Well, you know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for I think I'm going to make it part of the upstairs, because it's going to be very music, and I'm going to throw a little movie stuff in there, kind of take a lot of what we have from the other place and add it here with the move and get rid of the sport part of it. You know what I'm saying?
While we're talking movies and just thinking about, I was reading the notes as far as when they were filming October, November. Is there thoughts as far as Halloween? Now, I know we're a little distant from it, as far as doing more movies like you guys did last year.
No, yeah.
I think that's such an awesome idea.
I know Dave Hagen, who does Monster Mania. Dave's very busy. He's a very busy guy, but I want to talk to him about maybe doing something. We had spoke about it last year, and I should probably get a hold of him during the summer so we can make it happen, where, he's doing his convention in Cherry Hill, and maybe we take one of those nights or even a night prior to, and have like a big party here. With some of the they'll have like a I don't know, Friday the 13th reunion, and they'll have like 7 or 8 people from Friday the 13th, and sell them a party here. You get drinks upstairs, watch one of the movies live, talk back. But it's a private thing the night before the convention starts. He does those very limited, small in the in the place in Cherry Hill.
Yeah, I've seen that. You can buy VIP passes. And things like that.
But I'm thinking maybe this is a little something big different. Like I had Michael Berryman was a good friend of mine from Hills Have Eyes and all that. And Michael was at one of the conventions. Somewhere I have pictures of it. And I had I was working on a movie called The Ground House, and I had one of the coffee shops open. And Michael was here for his convention. And he came down to hang out at the Ground House for a night, and it was fun. People came. It was great. And I'm like, you know what? We could do that with like one of these, reunions he's having. you know, and they have a nice green room they can hang out in. They can come out. They can, a lot of times they schmooze with the audience and stuff.
Mhm.
So I think it'd be a lot of fun. You sell a ticket down here, and then upstairs is the real party after, and then the convention starts Friday, Saturday, or
Yeah,
whatever, and
that's a
Sunday.
great idea.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to Dave because I love Dave. I love Dave a lot, and he's a really great person. And I want to definitely this year I want to kind of get him backstage.
And
so
I
he
think
can-
I've been going to Monster Manias since the very beginning days. And I remember showing up one time. This is the best Monster
I can
Mania
see that.
story.
Yeah.
I was going to
the hat.
I was I was on my way to see Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper was at a Monster Mania, and a buddy of mine, friend of mine, and we decided, we're gonna have a couple beers before we go, and we missed getting in entirely.
Oh, really?
And we're standing out in front of the hotel, and we're bumming because we didn't find out until we got to the door. And one of the guys sees me, and I'm a little looking depressed, dejected that we didn't get in. And he's like, come on. I'll take you to the last Q&A. And I got in to see Betsy Palmer talk about Friday. Dude,
Betsy
that
was
was
the
so
best, man.
fantastic. Man.
Wow.
Betsy was a good woman, man. She was a good. I knew Betsy very well, actually.
I met
Yeah.
Betsy over
Yeah.
there. I met Sid Haig over there. Sid
Look,
Haig was
I
such
don't
an
know if you know,
awesome
Sid
dude.
was a good friend of mine. When he passed away was the year we were going to do a Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Mhm.
and Sid was going to come here, and he was going to be the narrator.
Oh.
And then he fell down a set of stairs, and we lost him. But yeah, I've known Sid for a very, very long time.
I hated 3 from Hell from that series.
Yeah.
Just because one, you saw how sick Sid was.
Yeah.
Like that movie, you saw how sick he was. But then again, the ending of Devil's Rejects was the best
Oh,
ending
yeah,
of
yeah,
any
yeah.
horror movie.
Sid was a great guy. When I tell you, I was lucky enough to meet and befriend. Like Betsy was phenomenal. I tell you what, people like that, like Betsy, is. I went back years later, and again, we knew her as Mrs. Voorhees. I got
Mhm.
pictures with her. We hung out with her. I've had dinner with her and Malcolm McDowell at times, and they're just great people. And I got to know her. But what I didn't know about her was in the 50s and stuff. She was a big star, TV
Yeah.
star. She was one of the people that were on all the game shows. If you remember back in the day,
Oh,
game
yeah.
show hosts were famous. They were huge. Like if you were and your host so and it's like, oh yay, that was the big guy. You know what I mean? She was one of the panelists for some of those To Tell the Truth in those shows.
Oh, yeah.
Was Betsy Palmer. And I looked at it one day we were watching. I'm like, wait a minute, that's Betsy Palmer.
Mhm.
I'm like, wow, God, why can't I think of her name right now? From Cheers,
Christy Alley?
Christy Alley. I met Christy Alley in LA, and we became friends, and we went to a couple parties together. We hung out a few times. She's a really sweet girl. I never realized we're watching, I forget what show it was. We're watching a game show on this because I sometimes just for help in my office, I just put game
Oh,
shows
from
on.
Cheers?
Yeah, from Cheers.
Yeah.
And we're
Match
watching,
Game.
and she's on Match Game.
Yeah.
She's literally a contestant on Match Game.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And unfortunately, she's passed away too, unfortunately. But it's like, I'm like,
I mean, how many
what?
people went through Hollywood Squares? I mean,
But you could see everybody, especially Gene Rayburn, that dirty little filthy piece of crap, sitting there hitting on her the whole time.
Yeah.
And you could see everybody on that panel that was a guy was just sitting there with their mouth open because she had these blue eyes that would just eat through you. And she was beautiful when she was younger. And you could just see them. And I'm like, there's no way she didn't leave the set of that show that night. And every one of them said, you want to be in my movie? You want to be in my movie? What are you doing? You want to be in my movie? And all of a sudden, here she is. She's becomes this huge star.
and here's the other thought as far as Monster Mania is concerned. A lot of times I see them bring musicians through. Maybe.
We might be able to get some. That
Just
was kind
saying.
of my thought about talking to Dave because I might be able.
Doyle.
Yeah, well, Doyle would be great, but we
Oh,
also
man.
we're about to announce another Misfits guy coming. But one of the things I'd like to do is maybe even bring in a good heavy metal act, like Glenn Hughes is Dave's favorite. And last year Glenn wasn't feeling too great when he was here, so this year I want to get Dave here. I want to get him in early so he can meet Glenn because I want him to meet him. He saw him in Deep Purple back in the 70s at the
Awesome.
Spectrum and shit. But I wanted to bring in a band, maybe you do a movie, you do a band, again, you bring in maybe Quiet Riot or one of these old rock bands that has kind of that horror feel to it.
Yeah.
Bring them in on that show and have this really big night, of whatever movie. We can, and that's why I feel like if we kind of work it out now, maybe we could get some details and do something really cool. Because again, I love horror. I love Dave. Dave loves music, and together, I think we could do something really cool for the fans.
That'd be awesome.
What's that? Guar. Oh God, could you
Oh
imagine?
my goodness,
Dude,
we'd
never be able to get the carpet clean.
We've
I would
gotten
love to see
no,
Guar here.
we've gotten stuff
We've done
out of the
worse.
carpets.
Yeah,
I mean-
not Guar stuff, like
Yeah.
fetuses and
Yeah.
things.
Fair.
How much Scotch Guard you got?
Excuse me. Yeah. This is Ray at the Landis. Yeah. What would it cost to get fetus out of a carpet?
Scotch Guard, what's your warranty?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, please. Oh my
Ah,
God.
shit,
that's
they wrote it all.
hilarious, man. That is hilarious. Well, we're gonna. I don't know if you want to check on Jimmy too and see where we are with Jimmy. I told him around 8 or so. If you want to see how he's.
Yeah, you
doing.
want to go see, but CT, how about you do these upcoming shows?
Oh,
All right,
you want to drop
got
that?
Drop that. Go see. The old brain.
If I text
Thinking,
him, he's
man.
never going to answer me. We have
He will
Jimmy
not,
Graham
no.
coming on. Jimmy's got a show coming up soon.
So, guys, the next big show on the main stage will be Puppy Pals. Excited for that, July 13th.
Movie magic.
Yes, and that is Puppy Pals from America's Got Talent.
Yes.
Yes.
AGT's very own.
Where did they come in? Do you know where they placed on?
Don't.
I know they came up like the top
Yeah, I
five.
think it was like a top
Yeah.
5 or top 3.
I know my
Rudy.
son. That was my son's first big show, and now that he's 5 and he's getting a little bit older, he's really excited. Like
Yeah.
he's
Oh, they
looking
were
forward to it. Then we have Completely Unchained, the Van Halen experience,
Looking
coming
so
August
forward.
23rd.
I heard so many good things about this band. I'm glad to finally have them here, and I cannot wait to see these guys rock this stage.
He's got
man.
the jumpsuit, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this band. I've heard so many good things. We've had a few Van Halen acts through, but these
Now, are
guys.
they mainly the David Lee Roth era?
Yeah.
Of,
Yep.
And then we have the Edward twins, Las Vegas Top Celebrity Impersonators, their final tour.
Yeah,
If you
that's
guys
their
have
final
not
tour.
seen them yet, this is your last chance here at the Landis to see them.
In South Jersey area, anywhere in this area, it's the last time you're going to be able to see them.
Awesome.
And again, they are fantastic. They are so good.
Then the Eagles experience, September 7th. Then
7 Bridges, baby.
we were just talking about Glenn Hughes, September 11th.
Oh,
Really looking forward to seeing
and
Glenn Hughes.
that's they're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Burn album. So
Yeah.
50, that album's been around for
50
50
that's
years, man.
insane.
Holy shit, man. Time flies.
With special guest Chris Lafferty.
Yes. And Glenn Hughes, remember real quick, voice of rock and roll in the Hall of
Yes.
Fame, inducted into the Hall of Fame as the voice of rock and roll. There are Hall of Fame musicians playing in Vineland, New Jersey.
That's amazing.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, a Hall of Fame again. We Country Music Hall of Fame. It's pretty crazy what's happened in Vineland, New Jersey, and how it's gotten to this point.
I saw
Really
a meme come across yesterday with guess who this is, and it was Crystal Gale.
Oh yeah, yep.
September 13th, Back in Black, the ultimate AC/DC experience. September 14th, Adrenalize comes back, the Def Leppard experience. And then September 20th, Strange Magic. Ray, I know you're a big ELO fan.
Yeah, big time.
The Electric Light Orchestra experience will be here September 20th.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one because again, like we had another band here that did their ELO show. We've had them here a few times. It's the same show a lot, so I wanted to see something different. And these guys are again, I believe they're out of Long Island, and they're another one of those really great bands that I'm looking forward to seeing. So we got a lot of great stuff coming up, and also in July, remember we are going to also be having our Battle of the Bands, which we're going to talk about real soon.
Oh, yes.
We also have something coming up even before July, though,
Yeah.
at Kaycee Ray's. This reminded me of it.
Yeah, the Feast fundraiser. Casey, do you have a? Oh, you do. Look at that. Live music, baskets, raffles, and more featuring Heart Full of Blues and the Mount Holly 3, plus
Mahali.
more Mount Holly 3.
Mahali.
Mahali. Mahala.
He's the guy that's got that experience there. Plus more performers, including the Wounded Souls duo upstairs at Kaycee Ray's. It is put together by Carrie Care / Soul Singer. That is Sunday, June 30th from 12 to 6 p.m. right here at Kaycee Ray's, which is attached to the Landis Theater.
Yes.
It is for the feast, feeding everyone at special times.
Yeah, now that was
organization.
originally going to be at the Landis, but we're having some things going on, some construction, some things that we're doing there.
Hell yeah.
So we had to move it up, but I think it's going to do really good in Kaycee Ray's. And Carrie's a good friend of mine. I've known her since high school. She's a wonderful friend. And then Mahali is so just
Mahala.
when my mom used to wear a pin, it used to say M-U-H Holly, because nobody from
Oh.
Mount Holly said they said Mahali.
Mahali.
Yeah, so it was like a big thing. Yeah,
Sounds Jewish.
exactly. It's Mahali. Hey, look at the
Mahali.
Mahali. Yeah, but that should be a fun time. And again, for another great cause, Carrie really does. Carrie goes around. She finds some really great causes, and
Awesome.
Would you say Carrie cares?
yeah, Carrie definitely cares, and she's been bringing them here, and it's great. And again, we try to get them on the Landis stage, but sometimes Kaycee Ray's works out really good too, because we get packed up there, and it's more fun because people are more together.
You can
They're-
eat.
yeah, you can
have
eat.
more.
There's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
community definitely
It really
like up
is.
there. There's
It
more
really is.
socializing.
Yeah,
I
you're not
see that.
stuck in a seat,
Yeah.
looking at this
meet
band
more
on the
people.
stage. Yeah, yeah, and we do. We have a nice. If anybody's ever been up there, we have a nice lighting rig and all that stuff. So it is actually nice, and it sounds great up there.
Hell yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
We had the baddies chick up there.
I don't know who did that.
Yeah, it was definitely good. Definitely good.
I don't know who designed
But
that.
real quick, what's that?
I was
Go
gonna say
ahead.
before we get off upcoming shows, I wanna hit on Puppy Pals one more time.
Go for it.
I have a little video. They're just coming up soon. I
Oh,
don't wanna go off.
I love Puppy Pals.
It's puppy videos. I didn't think
And last time they were here, I got to tell you, I fell in absolute. You still got this thing up, though. I fell in absolute love with Rudy and the guys, and even the crew. We gave, just so you know. So I was in the military in Georgia, and when I got out of the military, I did some. I stayed in the military, but I also did some stuff. They call it contractor work,
Mhm.
and I was in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And Stone Mountain is just this really cool, like resort area, like not really resort area, like kind of like a park, but it's really nice. Like they have laser shows and all this crazy stuff. And when the Puppy Pals were here last, they opened their trailer, and it was just a dump of shit everywhere. They just had shit everywhere. And Steve's
Everywhere.
Hopefully not literally.
and they were so
No,
nice
it was-
about it
well, they had
too.
shit everywhere, too.
That part was clean.
But literally, they
That
had
part
stuff
was
all
all
over. And Steve and I are looking, and Steve's like, man, we have all these road cases
Yeah.
that we could just give these guys. And they did. So they spent hours in the parking lot after their show, neatly packing everything into these roads.
That's
And now the
awesome.
back of their truck is so organized. We go on, and here they are a couple weeks later in Georgia at Stone Mountain. And I recognized the room they were in. And there's all these road cases that say the Landis on them.
That's awesome.
In the background.
Spreading the
It
love.
was so cool. Yeah, it was so
Yeah,
cool.
it was great.
But they were
they're
great
fantastic
people, and I'm excited to have them back. Go for it, Case. What do you got?
Just a little clip.
Rudy.
Who let the dog out? Dylan and Jeffrey. Who let the dog out? Who let the dog out? The party was nice, the party was okay.
And that was great too at the end of the show. So you come, not only do kids get to see a great show, it's so family friendly and so much fun. And we always do 2 shows. So there's like a early show, later show. So you can bring the kids, but afterwards they let you come up and actually get your picture taken with the pups. So you kind of sit down, all the dogs sit beside your kids, and everybody takes a little family photo. And they're such wonderful people.
That's
They're
awesome.
good. We really did. We fixed some of their stuff.
They got
We
the
did
backstage
so
treatment.
much stuff while they were here. Like the thing the dogs jump off of broke. We like welded it and got it
Yeah.
fixed for them.
We
Like,
did.
like I said before, I
Sawzalls were
even knew you
busted out.
guys. I was coming to the Landis
Yeah.
and brought little man. He was 2.5 when we brought him the first time, and he loved the show.
Oh, it's so
It's
much
so
fun.
good.
So much fun.
It's fun, and again, not just for kids. I mean, we were all wildly entertained.
Yeah, you don't have a picture of them
Wildly
back
entertaining.
in the blue room by any chance? Do you have that on
I'm
your
trying
thing?
to find
Oh,
it right
dude.
now.
There-
There's one with
I
me
walked into the back
cuddling with a
in the
curly
blue
haired
room,
dog.
and here's these 3 dogs sitting on the couches, just sitting there like, man, this is the life.
And literally, like sitting in their own seats on
Yeah.
the couch.
Yeah,
You'd
just
walk in,
hanging
they'd
out.
just be like,
Hanging out.
Stop.
Say, what's
"You gonna
going,
get
what's
us?"
going on, guys?
What
How
you
you guys
gonna do?
doing, man? How you guys? You supposed to be back here? I don't see you backstage.
Rudy, and
today.
then Rudy would come on over. He'd say hi to
Yeah,
you.
he was cute.
And all the other
That's
ones would come
awesome.
over. They'd be like, "All right, Rudy said hi."
Oh, there they are. Look, that's all of them. That was probably one of us talking to. But look how cute are these pups, man. That couch was all Rudy. There he is,
Yeah.
Rudy.
Man, he is amazing.
He really, and so soft.
So soft.
So soft. So soft. Very soft. Dog.
So nice.
Now, so Puppy Pals will be back. And what is that date again?
July 13th.
July 13th. They will be back in
In-
action here. We'll start really promoting the hell out of that because that's a lot of fun. And what a great show. And at the same time, we'll have our Battle of the Bands going on.
Yeah,
So that'd be
yeah.
kind of fun. You can go upstairs, maybe, leave the kids downstairs and go upstairs and watch a band play. Leave the kid with the
We
dog.
do not offer babysitting
No,
services.
no, not at all. Not at all. Not at
But
all.
I do offer dog sitting
Yes.
services. for-
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But so real quick, while we're here,
Thank you, Bruce.
oh, there's another happy birthday to Kaycee. All right, enough of her. We keep it. Yeah, enough of that. No, we love you.
Yeah, we got a comedian on.
Exactly.
That,
But so a dear friend of mine for many years now has been doing a comedy Roost upstairs at Kaycee Ray's, and he's been bringing together some really cool comics, local comics. That is him right there, Jimmy Graham. He used to be known as Round Boy Jimmy Graham, but he is no longer round.
Saggy boy.
Now he's like healthy Jimmy Graham.
Like a melted candle, actually, but it's awesome. You know, I just want to share that I heard you guys talking. I went to Mount Holly once.
No, really?
Yeah, but she wasn't home. So I went down to Mount Ephraim, but he wasn't game. So I couldn't do that at all. It was a rough ride. I'll say that much. Yeah, man. July 13th, you're going to have Battle of Bands?
Yeah, well, no. There's a battle of the bands just going on. It's a thing that we do every year, but we've been doing it downstairs. But we're gonna start. We're just gonna do the preliminaries upstairs
Okay.
throughout on Sundays. So it's Sundays throughout July,
Oh, cool.
and then the winners will come downstairs and just have a big ass show. So it'll be a lot of fun. It was
I
a lot
love
of fun.
I love
Last
it
year
here,
it was
man.
sponsored by Death Wish Coffee, and we have not revealed our sponsor for this year yet. So we will do that next week.
Death Wish
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah, they were great.
Is
too,
it like
man.
12,000 times the
Oh, you have
caffeine?
no
It's
idea.
like crack.
dude, it's fantastic.
It's like crack.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I went to a
3
comedy.
o'clock, you start like
I did comedy at like an AA group, and they had this stuff, and they called it kryptonite. And I'm telling you, I saw guys in the back, they would let it dry, and they were like popping it out and snorting it. This is the best.
Well, you know who the guitarist Zach Wild is?
Yeah.
Well, Zach
Oh,
Wild
yeah.
does a brand of their coffee, and it's actually called Valhalla. And I'm like, oh, it will wake you up.
Yeah.
It will bring you back.
Yeah, you go see your ancestors,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the guys. I'll be back later.
It's like
Don't know
peyote.
when. I have an
Peyote
HMO.
But so now every Tuesday.
Yeah,
you
every
bring comics
Tuesday.
upstairs to let people know about that.
Yeah, what we do on Tuesdays is it's an we're trying to bring back comedy, stand-up comedy. It really took a hit
Yeah,
during the pandemic, and then we're going through this phase where America's a little, you can't say that.
Yep.
Okay, we're done with that.
I think things are changing.
Yeah, I do. I
definitely.
really
Yep,
do. I mean, Kill Tony is the #1 show
Yep. Yes.
in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, second,
Yeah.
to
Yep.
this one.
Yeah.
But and they break all the rules.
Yeah.
They are doing exactly what everybody hates right now, and it's not what everybody hates.
That's
So
what they love. Yeah.
exactly, it's
Yep.
what we love. And listen, comedy is our last venture into free speech
Mhm.
and a way of taking the power from all this screwed up stuff we got
Absolutely,
going on in our
brother.
life. You
Absolutely.
laugh at it, man, it's out to it. No
Yep.
power left to it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do here. I really have a great core of guys and gal. We have a gal that came out as an audience member.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's mid-60s, and she tried it for the first time. And I'll tell you what, she's funny.
We had
She's our lady of the evening.
we had done some comedy up here before, and we had an older lady come in. Remember her? She was fucking hilarious.
she was.
man.
I forgot.
Because she's talking
her.
about
Yeah.
menopause and
Saggy titties.
it was hilarious. She was hilarious.
yeah,
But
Sid
I-
Yeller's probably.
But I love what you're talking about with comedy, because I think comedy did take. You know what I just discovered? I don't know how I never watched this show before, but My Name is Earl.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, talk about one of those shows with great comedy,
Yep.
and they're hitting things like Jamie Presley plays the white trash trailer park girl,
It's awesome.
and we were sitting here saying how she is so perfect in this role.
Or Missy.
Who?
No, yeah, Jamie. Sorry, I
Jamie
was thinking
Presley,
Missy
Jamie-
Kyle.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
then, Missy Pyle's she was on one of the episodes. But and little Chloe Moretz, who I worked with on Hugo and a couple other movies. Here I'm watching the show. I'm like, is that Chloe? She was like this big. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god! So that's how long the show's been out.
Yeah, man.
But that's another show that I'm watching it. I'm sitting there when they got the crab man on, and she has a black baby and all. And I'm like, man, this was something in the last like 3 or 4 years that people would be like, "Oh, we can't put that on TV."
But then
They're
there's
so funny.
there's the comedians that I know. For me personally, I go, God, I wish he was still here because I would have loved to have heard what he would have said in today's, like George Carlin.
Yeah,
I so wish George could have been here.
Well, all
now.
you're gonna do is watch
Because,
them in
like-
AI.
yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Resurrected from the dead.
Oh,
It's true.
please.
It's
That's
true.
probably the only way I get famous.
Yeah.
You know, they'll,
You
they'll have
imagine?
me stuff, but I won't be that high tech. It'll just be me taxidermied.
They'll just puppet you.
Yeah.
We get to Bernie's over here.
But and listen, it did. We took a little dip where everybody got so politically correct and everything, and we're in Pride Month this month, and that's great. I have a transgender comic right out there right now who is very funny. You know what I mean? It's great.
Yeah.
But comedy's the unifier.
Exactly. I
Okay?
agree. Yep.
We have to laugh at stupid shit. All
It's
right?
true.
If we don't, it's going to, you know what I mean? I don't do political humor, but I had to say, I'm like, guilty. Guess
Yeah.
what? You know, we got to deal with now the sex appeals. But you know what I mean? It's you got to laugh at that shit because then it has no power and it's gone. And then we can move on and do all kinds of fun stuff. But that's what we're doing here. And it's a no cover every Tuesday night. We start at 7. I have signups for the show at 6:30. And I call it the Comedy Roost because we are in Vineland, New Jersey. And Vineland, New Jersey, the high school, they're
It's
what do you call it?
The fighting clan.
They're the fighting clan.
it's a big.
Okay.
It's a rooster.
It's
Yes.
a big rooster,
Yep, yep.
but you know, people see that and they're like, "Oh my god, fighting clan!" Not with a cat. It's with shit.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's
what
like
does it say on the back
chickens,
of
you
the softball field?
Oh yeah,
The women, the girls.
Yeah,
are
I
fighting,
forget what it
the
was.
stuff for the girls, like softball team. It says something on there where you're like,
no.
"Oh, I can't believe they left that up."
you cluckers. But yeah, and I love the fact that Vineland, you know, it's the deputy capital of our state. You know, anything happens to Trenton, boom, we're it. You know, and 3% sales tax. You gotta love it all down here. But
yeah.
when World War II, a lot of Jewish farmers came here, Russian Jewish farmers, and they established chicken farms. You know, so
that's true. That's
and
true. Yeah.
on the East Coast, this was the biggest chicken trading facility. People would come and trade their eggs. You know?
Yeah. No, that's
And,
true. Yeah.
You know, so I wanted to bring a little of that out. So we're doing, you know, it's the Comedy Roost. Come and crow, do your thing, let it out, try it. I don't care if you have it on paper. I don't care if you have it off the top of your head. You know, you get 5 to 7 minutes. Try it. I'll help you. I'll coach you. But what we're doing with that is over the progress of, you know, these guys developing. We get to a point like now where I actually have some guys that are ready to go.
Oh,
So we're
awesome.
going to do a fledgling show. It's called the Fledglings because, once again, sticking with the chickens and the birds. All right. And there's going to be an even dozen of them. So it's going to be a showcase show.
We
okay?
are really staying with the birds.
We
you know,
are,
this is
man.
great.
Man
Yo,
loves
you got to
chickens.
see how I do it out there. I have a bag of eggs.
Don't mess with his cock.
Okay. No, man. I miss my big black cock. I had one. They made me get rid of it. But anyway,
What happened to your chicken? Do you still have your chicken?
I only have 2 left.
Oh,
I had
okay.
to shift them down to Pittman got into a war with me and saying I couldn't have chickens, so I had to send them down to Franklinville.
What?
And then honest to God, right, like 4 months later, they're like, "You can have your chickens." I'm like, "You son of a bitch!"
Now they're gone.
Yeah,
Now
they're
the-
down the street, man. I ain't going back to get chickens. You know? I got used to not having chickens. You know, I had like 12 freaking chickens at one point, which isn't much for some people, but it started out with 4. And they don't tell you what sex they are, straight, wrong.
Oh yeah.
I thought that just meant they weren't gay. You know, and I'm like, I'll take 4 of them. Look, I'm 60 years old. I don't have the knowledge or the energy to raise a gay chicken. So I have to go with that. But it's not that. It is not even that. There's a job. Right. There's a job where some guy shows up every day and there's a bin of chickens over here. And he picks them up, turns them over, and squeezes them until their little ass pops out. Okay? This is not shit.
What?
I'm not lying to you.
Yeah.
And if it's got a pimple on it, it goes over here. No pimple goes over here. Okay. Egg layers over there.
He's just chucking
Alarm
the
clocks
chickens
over there. Yeah. So you got roosters and hens. Pimple, it's a rooster. You know, you thought Asians were small.
Yeah.
But anyway, I apologize to any Asians.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. I'm Irish. I can say that shit.
Yeah.
But you know, and then I got the chickens, and I ended up with like 3 roosters.
Okay.
I'm like, son of a bitch. That's what it means. Straight run means that guy didn't show up or work that day. So they just threw him in a big bin. And straight run, we don't frickin' know. So I got 3 alarm clocks.
Okay.
So I went back and I'm like, yo, I got to trade these in. They're like, no, you can't do it. You got to buy 4 more. And I'm like, I need egg layers. And they're like, right there, $1 more. Motherfucker. Why didn't you tell me this in the beginning? But anyway, so now I got 8 chickens. My grandson came over, played with the chickens, had fun, you know, and then he went home and told his other grandfather, oh, my pop-up's got chickens. He said, come on, I'll take you to get chickens. Went down to Tractor Supply, got him 4 frickin' chickens. 2 weeks later, it was like, no, chickens got to go. So I had 12 chickens.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it worked out.
Little
But
reverse
I had 12
inheritance.
goddamn chickens, man. I couldn't sit out there all day feeding them.
I always had this vision of you with the chicken because I remember you did on our main stage. You did a show once and you brought the chicken
my
out.
chicken.
And I
Right
always
after
had
the
this.
pandemic.
I always had this vision of you like Homer Simpson, giving him a nice hot bath. And
I slept with that chicken.
and now I gotta eat it because the water was too hot. Remember that he had the
Boiled
The
chicken.
lobster.
Oh no! Don't tell me that. My chicken is now down at Franklinville and actually moved from my stepdaughter's house across the street to a little farm, and is best friends with a horse.
Oh.
And rides the horse every day. I got pictures of it. It's freaking
Holy
insane.
shit, that is awesome.
So she's living her best.
Hell yeah.
You know, my little hen. But you know, so we're here doing this, getting back to it. You know, with the chickens, I had to go with.
Yeah.
You know, and I really enjoy it. And I, gotta love the crow. And
And it
everybody
works
seems
with
to pop-
Vineland. It really
It
does.
does.
It works with Vineland.
you know, and through this, I've gotten to be a vendor now. Through
No,
you hooked me
yep.
up with a show
Yep.
here, so I had to get a vendor's license. So I'm part of Vineland. I moved down here. I live in Dorothy now. 'Cause I
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to be
that's right.
closer
Yep.
to here
Yep.
and Atlantic City, where I do a lot of shows at
Yep.
resorts. You know, and the fledgling show, the first showcase we're going to have, we're planning on it for July 13th. It's going to be at 7:00. Okay, it's going to be an early show. And we're going to be out of here. It's going to be a 90-minute show, 100 minutes at the tops. I'm sure you guys will offer
Yeah,
drink
yep.
specials and
Yep.
stuff. We'll have a link up where you can get the tickets, and I'll also give out links to the individual performers so they can reach out to their friends and get them out.
Exactly. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, these
it
are
is.
all people that have performed
They
on your
have to-
Tuesdays up here.
Yes, these are
Okay.
all people that I brought to perform here. I will close with about 15 minutes at the end, and I have a professional MC, Molly. She's coming in and she's
Okay.
going to MC it. So we'll have it go and move. And we're going to have our dozen. They're each going to do anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. So it'll
Now-
be an hour and a half.
Let me ask you, because we're usually doing the podcast while you're doing your
Yeah.
thing next door. I have to ask you now, do you coach some of the people? Like, do you kind of give them tips and stuff? Because
Yeah,
you know,
especially the
you've
first
been around
group to
doing
come
comedy
through.
for a long time.
Yeah,
man.
I've been an instructor for Catch a Rising Star and
Yeah.
Sarcasm's Comedy Club for a couple decades now. I was a teacher.
Yeah,
So I have a curriculum. You can't teach anybody to be funny,
that's
but
true.
you can teach them the vocabulary, the business,
Yep.
how to write, you know, and all the different nuances of the business. And that's what I do. And we actually are going to, you know, I have that available here as well. The most of these guys that came out because they started with me,
Mhm.
their coaching is like part of it. And I sit there and I listen to every performer and I take notes. And if I can help them, I help them.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, that's it. I was a teacher.
Yeah.
I was
You're a wrestling
football,
coach, weren't you?
wrestling
Yeah,
coach.
you
Yeah,
so
I mean,
much.
it's in me. It's in me to be a teacher, and I really enjoy it, you know. And I'm at the age now where I love my comedy. I love doing it. This is a great opportunity, but I'm 60, man. I don't feel like getting on a plane, you know,
Yeah.
spirit,
Yeah.
wearing everything I
Mhm.
own
Yeah.
because I can't afford a bag,
Yeah.
you know, and flying to Indianapolis for 16 people. Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Yeah, it's
You
true,
know?
and that's
And-
what it is now. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it
comedy.
is,
I
because
feel like it's going to come back though.
It
I feel like
definitely is. There are groups. There are some clubs out there that are doing very well. It seems that the axis of comedy has shifted. It used to be L.A. and New York, and now it's Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Yeah.
Austin, Texas is
The
the
mothership.
hotspot.
We
Yep.
had Ben Bailey here not long
Yes,
ago,
yes.
And Ben really killed it, man.
Yes,
Again,
he did,
I-
man.
I-
He's a quality comic.
oh,
man.
great guy, man, great
And
guy.
he is. He's a very
But
personable.
we had a
man.
good turnout, which made me think, all right, maybe we should start doing some more comedy next
Yep.
year. So we're actually looking into some comedy acts, some bigger ones, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you start talking to some of the people, like, you know who's big again right now, especially on Instagram, is Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
So Andrew's out there, he's doing his thing again. But I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff he's been doing, but he's literally just like kind of going down the
Going
street.
rogue, man.
Yeah, going on the street and just making fun of shit, and people turn around and are like, "Wait a minute, aren't you?" Yeah.
Will
I
you
definitely
here
can't tell
for
you
the
why that is.
picture? Will you
I
here for the
definitely didn't
picture?
reach out to him, and can't tell you why that is.
Yeah. He also
Oh, boy.
he's one of those. He's one of those people. He's got a bad name. He's got a bad rep, and it's like people are like,
Dice.
you don't want to
Yep.
bring him in, and this and that.
That's the thing that I think is going to bring him back. I
Yeah.
think because if you research Dice and you go back, I knew Dice in the very, very beginning, and he's a very funny guy. He created that character,
Oh,
you know,
so
and he would
perfect.
come
Yep.
out like Jerry Lewis. He was
Yeah.
the nutty professor.
Yeah, yep.
And he would drink the potion and turn into,
Yep.
you know, and what a great guy. But there was another underground comic who was world famous, but an underground comic. He passed away on us, Otto and George.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Otto had nursery rhymes. George did nursery rhymes.
Okay.
Dice, kind of.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, there's a lot of them. I mean,
Yeah.
what's his name? That was he got huge until they found out everybody was stealing. He stole everybody's jokes.
Garcia, not Garcia. Yeah.
No, remember no, what was his name? He was a young guy. He did a couple movies. You know what I'm talking about. But he was one of those. You're like, wait a minute, those jokes, and people are like, wait a minute.
Dylan Dave.
Mancia. Mind of Mancia. He was the
Carlos
guy. He got
Mencia.
called out by Joe
Yeah.
Rogan
Yeah,
right
he
on
did. That's
stage,
right. That's
man.
right.
And he said, and he was using one of Bob Levy's
Yeah.
Oh, really?
jokes, and he called him out and said, "That's Bob Levy's from the Howard Stern show."
Yeah.
So Bob
Yeah.
was like, "I got."
Dane Cook.
Dane Cook.
Oh,
he
Dane,
was
yeah.
he was known for stealing every joke. Yeah.
Stealing every joke,
Yep.
and he also had a brother-in-law that stole every freaking penny that man made.
Oh, I didn't know
He
that.
flat broke.
Really?
man.
Wow.
His brother-in-law was his accountant and just robbed him blind. He's
Yeah.
trying
Wow.
to come back.
Wow.
You know, there are people out there that are very shitty with their money,
Yep.
and there's other people that are very good with it. I worked with Jackie Martley
Yeah.
last week.
Love Jackie.
And
yeah.
Jackie still has his milk money from
Right.
Christmas,
I
but
believe
you know,
that.
from school. And he just sits there at the end. He's got books, and it's flawless for him. It just say his name, and
Yeah.
they show up.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yep,
mean? And
yep.
that's what's so cool about it. And Jackie is raw,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
but he's got jokes you can tell your kids and all, but he's the joke man, you know, and you come and that audience was there, but I'm looking at it and I'm like,
Oh, they're boomers, man.
I remember first time I saw Jackie and Joke Man in New York, and it was just like there was one-liners. Like you could
Oh.
open a joke book in the store and go, boom, there's his routine. But the way he presented it was
Oh my
funny.
God.
He
And he knows
delivered it the right
every
way.
joke. honestly,
he
he
is
really
a book.
does.
He's a joke book.
He's got a mind
Yep.
like that. He's
Yep.
you know, he may have been autistic.
That's possible. That's possible. No, he was
Yeah.
hilarious. But
He's a good guy.
you and I met. We met actually. I had a. Your daughter worked for me.
Yeah, my baby.
Yep, she worked for me at a coffee shop. I had a bunch of different little businesses throughout the years, but I had a nice coffee shop and I had a building next door, and I wasn't sure what to do with it that I had purchased. And I'm like, why don't I knock out a wall?
Yep.
Build a stage over there, and people can sit from the coffee shop and go next door and just have basically it was just always open mic.
Yeah.
And you started doing comedy there.
Yeah, man.
And at the
Good old
time,
Pittman.
I think I was working on Boardwalk Empire, one of those shows at the time, and Jimmy came and the comedy was just so good. We ended up becoming friends.
Yeah,
And then we had done, and we went on to do. I know I was very busy and I got lost in things, but we did a little pilot together.
Oh, hell yeah.
I've done-
Graham crackers. I
I've done-
still love that.
I have done hundreds of pilots, and probably one of the most fun times I ever had was just because, as a writer, I took a lot of your
Yeah,
comedy.
just took all my comedy
and then Tim's comedy. It was Tim Grill was in
Yep.
as well. We love Tim to put the comedy together, and took these two comedians and put their comedy together to make a show, and it ended up being phenomenal.
Yeah.
and a lot of fun.
Amazing. It got passed around. It got seen by tens of people.
But
it was
you know what?
amazing.
So did most. Again, I have worked on. I can't. If I say 100, I'm probably lowballing how many actual.
I
pilots
don't
I've
doubt
worked
it, man.
on that
I
don't
don't
make it.
doubt
And I will tell you, at that point in time, the pilots that were making it, like I was working on another pilot called "Do No Harm" in Philadelphia. Probably the worst shit you've ever seen in your life. But it was the producer's son's idea, so somehow it got picked up by NBC.
Yeah.
And it was crap. It was literally, when I tell you crap, three shows in, we had filmed 10 shows, 3 shows in, they canceled it.
Do you guys remember Cop Rock?
Oh, I do.
That's
You ain't old enough for Cop.
I was in high school when Cop Rock came out. That was
That
proof
was-
that the
that was
networks picked up anything.
Early 80s. Cop Rock was early 80s.
Dude.
Yeah, that was Cop Rock was horrible. But no, but that's one of those things where it was like I thought that was a great pilot.
Yeah, I mean, it actually did air. It went on this thing called Launch TV.
That's right. I forgot about Launch TV.
At
That's
Launch
right.
TV, it was seen. I kid tens of people. It was seen by millions.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was most popular in like Algeria.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here going,
Hell yeah.
these people have corrugated metal roofs and they're streaming me. Holy shit. This
But,
is
hey,
great, man.
I woke up one morning to 20,000 Twitter followers that I had never had before, and found out that a movie I was in got released in like Germany and India. And all of a sudden, all these people, I'm like, wait a minute, all these people from India love this movie. I'm like, what?
I was surprised because I had no idea that we had a separate track. I mean, they were hearing, hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob. Looking at me like, hey, Marchman. Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, how does that work? What's the translation there?
Case, you have a little clip of that. Now this is Kaycee brought down a little piece. Now this was. Now remember, this was a pilot. It was really raw back then. This wasn't even
This
the
was
final.
my parents' house.
But this wasn't the final edit either. This was just kind of something we had thrown together.
Yeah.
And we'll go back to say that an old friend of mine, Phil, did the theme song. Phil was with
Phil
the Rem-
Solomon.
Yep. That song, that was his last. I couldn't remember his last name to save my life. But Phil was in a band called the Rembrandts, and if for
Rembrandt.
anybody at home that didn't know, the Rembrandts, they wrote the theme song for Friends.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
for
exactly. So I
you.
was talking to Phil, and I said, "Hey, man," I said, dude, I got this show I'm working on called Graham Crackers. I said, I really think it's something you. And he read the script.
Oh my God,
he was
that
so
song.
excited. Yep.
In fact, if you have a copy of it, I got to steal
I
it
do
again.
have a copy.
Oh man, I need it. True Blue.
Yeah, True Blue. That's right. That's what it
Yeah,
was
since
called.
then I've gotten divorced and like I'm a horrible person, but I was True Blue back
You were
then.
True Blue at one time. You wanna show a little- what do you got on that? Yeah, we did a bunch of little clips for that.
Made a little
Remember?
clip. You ready?
That was fun. We did. Oh man, you remember the coming attractions?
Yes,
With
it
your
was so much
son?
fun. Oh, it was so much fun.
Oh my God!
God.
How old is he now?
He is 19 now.
Wow.
18. 18? He's 18 now, not 19.
Drive himself here.
Dude, I was just saying, I was in this movie and I
Hey,
won
Papa.
I won an award for acting and all this stuff. And it was this little girl who played my daughter, right? And the cutest little girl, Olivia. I just saw her online. She just graduated high school today. I'm like, holy crap, man. Time flies, man.
Don't blink.
The kid was this big. Now all of a sudden she's graduating high school. It's unbelievable. Go
Oh,
ahead,
that
Kate. Which one do you have? Do you have the
Beginning the Graham Crackers rough edit.
Oh, here we go. I think this is just let's see what you got on it.
What am I supposed to carry around on my back like Yoda during your date? That would be cool. Why can't you be more conservative, like Becky? All right, not that conservative. Maybe more like Chelsea.
What? No more food pyramid? Who gets paid to make that call?
I just teach what they tell me to.
Mommy, now people got those.
Come on, baby.
Poor kid. wonder if little Richard started off like this.
It's nerves too, Jimmy. Did you see her? She's way out of my league.
Oh, I didn't say that again.
I think I might actually take the night off just to make sure he gets home okay. Good night, you two.
Ouch.
The world might stop, but I've still got you, and we're steady on True Blue.
But so that was before we did color correction or any of that stuff. That was kind of the rough we had put together for it. But that was just that was for the screening that we done.
Yes,
in
it
Pittman,
was.
your-
And I'll
your
never
hometown.
forget that we had a scene, and I completely forgot about it. And I had read the script, you know, I should have been prepared. I came and you had Tim throw a milkshake on me.
Yes.
And I had forgotten I brought another pair of clothes, but I had forgotten to bring skivvies. And they were soaked with milk.
Milkshake.
And they started
Oh.
smelling funky. So the beginning of the show, I'm tight. The second half of that pilot, I'm swinging, gang.
You were
I'm
loose, baby.
swinging
You were
loose,
loose.
man.
You were loose.
I was packing to the
swinging
left,
loose.
man. It's like,
That
yo,
was
and these are khakis.
Dude,
Look
we're-
out.
A great cast. We had a lot of good people
Oh, my
involved in
God.
that show. It actually was. And then we when we were doing that, when it went on to the what was the name of this the streaming thing again?
Launch TV.
Launch TV. They wanted a couple little like trailers, and we had went back and filmed those, and
I
they were
love-
hilarious.
Dude,
man.
they were
they were
they
funny.
might have been
they were
funnier
funnier
than
than
the
the
original
show.
pilot.
Yeah,
You had me good.
But
And
that was the idea, man.
It
Like,
was,
we had,
man.
I had written some really. I ended up having. I wrote an episode where Tim is he has spina bifida. Same thing my sister, who passed away, had, and Tim is the barely can stand up comic, you know, and we used that as part of the shtick in the show. And I had written a whole episode where he was originally one of the Wiggles, and they named the Wiggles after him, and then they got rid of him. And so years later, he sees them on TV and goes, "Wait a minute!" So we had so many good episodes.
Oh, I know, man.
Yeah.
And the whole premise of it was
it would have been. It was, but again, it's one of those ones. It just didn't. Again, if we had
timing,
somebody's
and-
producer's son in there involved, we.
I mean,
could've got that.
actually, I did have help from that. In fact, when I did the movie Invincible, they made me Mark Wahlberg's dialect
That's
coach.
right. Yep.
So I hung out with Mark all the time and really befriended and became like almost best friends with Eric Weinstein.
Oh, that's right. I
Which
forgot
is-
Eric was involved.
Yeah,
I forgot
E.
about that. Yes.
E from Entourage.
Yep.
He's not a little Irish redhead. No, he
Yeah.
was a 300-pound, 60-year-old Jewish man.
Yep.
Who now is down in weight as well. He just got married, had a little girl. Oh, she's beautiful.
See, I didn't know.
But and Eric was taking that and shopping it around for us.
Yeah.
And,
These are the things I forget.
and
always forgot
honestly,
about that.
I got an evaluation
Yep.
from it saying it was very strong writing. It was good. They liked us, but the main character, I'm unknown.
Yeah.
And he said, he's got the chomps to pull this off. And that kind of is where it hit.
Yeah.
I guess, but hey, it's different timing now.
Yeah.
Who knows what could be? I mean, we'd
Yeah.
have to put on a lot of makeup to make me look like that
We
again.
can rehash it right here in
That's all,
Vineland.
exactly. Oh, dude, it would be great. You knew that?
Yeah.
I'd be like an egg farmer.
Dude, that was a lot of fun to write. That was a lot of fun to
It
work
was a
on.
lot of fun to perform. We had those guys were so much fun, and we had a great time. Callie Bassman, who played my wife Dottie,
Yep.
her grandfather was Reds Bassman from the Eagles.
Yep.
And I mean, I was like the heritage and everything that's
It was cool. It was
into
a good
this was,
vibe.
I was like, this is homegrown, man.
It was a good vibe. I wish
I
we
still talk with all the kids too.
I wish we
you
had
know.
a clip of the little teasers that we did
Oh, I
for
know.
Launch TV, because there
That
was
one
one.
where I passed out.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was where
so funny, man.
Tim came over and gave
Dude,
me
they were-
a scratch off that was fake, and I thought I won $1 million, and I passed out, and we piled up a bunch of cushions, and I fell straight back.
and
Man.
missed the cushions.
I broke my neck, but it's okay. You know, I don't have a neck. Thank
And then-
God.
and then-
if I had a neck, I'd be dead.
And then one my son was putting makeup on you.
That
was hilarious. I forgot
That was
about
when I
that
come
one.
in and I'm like, "What did I tell you?" And then he's like, "But she gave me a lava cake." And I'm like, "Ah!" You see us both eating it, and then we were fishing.
That was a lot of fun.
And
Yeah,
that was
there's
a fishing
one.
with your,
Yeah, that's
with
right.
your son, and we're
Yeah.
there, and it starts raining, just drizzling enough. It was like perfect.
Yep.
And he's like, "What the hell does that mean, Papa?" but yeah, it was. Oh my God, it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Tim and I went on to do another pilot afterwards, Cain and Abel, which we had a lot of fun. That I wrote that. And same kind of deal. It was just the timing of it,
Yeah.
you know. But I have talked to some people. You know, there's a gentleman that out of Atlanta that does like graham crackers,
Yeah.
and he's like, we could, you know, maybe we could try it again. And I'm like, yo, go
And again,
for
that's
it, man.
one of those pilots where it was made like on a dime.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Shot
They
on
were
a
all
Canon
like that.
camera. It was like nothing. You know.
You- once I
worked on
got
some
into
pilots
it-
though. That I'll tell you, they spent a lot of money on the pilot.
Oh hell!
And I'm like, they just spent like $1 million on this pilot, and it sucks.
yeah.
I'm like, and that had we spent $1 million on that, it would have got picked up tomorrow. It would, because it would have had the production value that we needed that we didn't have.
It's that the
you know?
production value plus the names at the end.
Exactly.
The
We-
role.
Yeah,
you know?
we could have thrown some. You know, we could even thrown a couple people in there with a name. You know, what I mean?
There's actually a pilot out there now that's they're trying to push to the casinos and have like they're trying to do a thing where it's just going to be private to the casinos and they'll stream it and it's all about gambling and things like
Oh,
that.
Okay.
Smart idea. It's loaded with B stars and all.
Huh. Yeah, yeah. There's so much bad stuff out there.
And
Well,
I'm like,
what's happened though in
so
since we did that pilot and time has moved on and all the streaming has come through and all the stuff that's come through now, because you remember Launch TV was a very rare streaming service.
it was, yeah.
Now
yeah.
you stream everything.
Oh my
and,
gosh, yeah.
And what's changed now is every Yahoo with the iPhone thinks he can make a movie.
Yeah.
And it has flooded the market with so much just garbage.
Yep.
There's just so much garbage being made.
And
it's
they're
just, it's
picking
horrible.
it up on some streaming services,
some
which
of them are-
makes me nuts.
But
you
the
know,
thing
like,
is, nobody's making money off it that made it, and that's the thing is, you got these people out there saying, "Oh, well, you know, we put all our credit cards together and we spent $200,000, and I shot these 5," and Hulu picks it up, and they never see a dime, and you're never seeing it. Oh, they don't make any money.
Oh wow.
No, the only way, if you'll notice a lot of things, like Kaycee and I were watching a great show. It's called Disjointed. Have you ever watched that?
yes,
Only one season.
yeah.
Because again, that was one of those things that Netflix is the worst. By the way, I mean, look, I love you, but fuck you, Netflix. they fucked me, dude. Netflix gave me a credit card once, and they said, "There's your budget," and I said, "Well, how much is on it?" They said $750,000, and they wanted me to do some. I forget what I did with that one, but I'm like, all right, that's how they do it. They track everything you do. You buy everything with the card. So that's how they track, and that's your budget for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, how was that? And they're like, all right, good. And you know, your pay is totally separate. Here's a dime for you, a quarter for you, you know, a nickel for this guy. And then they're like, all right, they put it out there and like, oh, they people watch it, they get people join the stream, and then they don't make a second season. That happened with Disjointed. It was a great show. It was funny, but they're like, all right, we got all these people hooked. We ain't making a second season because they don't want to spend the money.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And your promise in your contract is, we up you for a second season, we're going to start paying everybody. Well, second seasons never come. It's very rare. It's very, very rare that you get that second season. And that's just what they do now. And it's unfortunate, but that's why you see so much crap.
Right.
And if you watch Netflix now, you're seeing a lot of foreign shit.
Yeah.
Because they are
you know, that started happening
They're
to
picking
me.
it up for nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing.
it's literally to the point where I'm like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
What logarithm did I get put in?
Yeah.
Has somebody been watching porn under my name or
And,
something?
and wasn't Launch TV part of NBC or something like
Yeah,
that?
it
If
was.
I remember
It was an
correctly. Back
affiliate
then.
of
Yeah.
Launch.
Yep.
It was oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember the guy's name.
Yeah, I lost all those names. back in the day. I forget half that
I
stuff.
have it somewhere. I haven't heard from him in a long time. But the pandemic is what changed so many things. You know, the progression of so many things,
Yep.
and it's stalled out. And then we're getting back, but there's so many clubs that didn't survive.
Yeah.
And they're gone. And they were the small, intimate ones where you go in, it's a low ceiling. You hear unknowns trying to make it. You know, we have a guy in here that is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And he brings it every week and he's perfecting his act to the point where I'm like, yes. Now, my bird, I have a parrot.
I know,
It
beautiful bird.
escaped.
Oh,
You
no.
know, no, we got him back.
Oh, okay,
but
good.
I couldn't make it here because I'm like, my bird is in the tree and I got to be an open mic.
Man, I
I'm
got
like,
locked up for that one
Right.
time, my bird in the tree.
well, I live in a campground now, so it's kind of like kids don't have cell phones in the campground. They ride their bikes and they're like, like, what? Jesus, stop.
Fucking Columbo over here.
I was waiting to catch a predator to come up on me.
Oh, my
But,
God.
You know, it's a different world over there. I forgot my point.
I will tell you though, we get a very good viewership. So a lot of times, like again, these podcasts, what I found out as we've been doing them is you end up in that week, you start piling up. Like you might see 10 people watching it, but what happens is if you tuned in, if we start at 7 and they tune in at 7:15, they start at the beginning again.
Right.
So you don't really see that. But when you're done, you go on and watch, you go, oh, look, over 1,000 people watched it. And now we're up to almost like 10,000 people last week that watched our podcast.
Man.
But my thought is, now that I'm thinking about this with the comedy thing, maybe we look at.
I have been thinking about this a lot.
We have everything that's needed here.
Right.
You know, maybe we
live stream of it would be amazing. We'll just get them to sign off on the papers.
Take your show and start making a little live stream, you know, maybe an hour a week, once a week, and get it out there.
Dry Bar Comedy, the app, Dry Bar, is unbelievably popular.
Okay.
And it's just a moneymaker like nobody's business. People look, it's clean comedy.
Yep.
But there's need for a dry bar.
Well, we can be dirty
that can
comedy.
be wet.
Yep.
There is
What's
need
the,
for wet bar.
Kaycee,
Wet so we can do something like that.
Where's the little thing that you put up with we're on all these platforms now. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, so you can see us and stream us on all these different things now.
Excellent.
And now that the door's open, you know, we could add a show.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
and make the Roost,
like this.
the Roost, baby.
Yeah,
the
man,
Roost.
the comedy Roost.
Look,
I will snipe for you any day.
I have been a fan of your comedy since the day I met you.
Thank
I
you,
always
buddy.
loved it. You made me literally piss my pants laughing at you back then. And again, back then,
I'm 60. That happens.
Jimmy was big
without
back
even
then.
laughing
He was known as the round boy, Jimmy Grant.
Yeah, 400 pounds.
Yeah, he was a big man.
Wow.
But he used to use that for his comedy. Like a lot of his jokes were, you know, again.
Yep.
There you are back at that. No,
Round
wait a minute,
boy.
that was here.
Chicken's in there. The chicken is in
Jimmy sniped me that day.
Yeah.
He sniped me.
How did he snipe you?
Because it was your birthday. I forget what the joke was, but it was like somehow Ray keeps getting older and his girlfriends keep getting younger. Like it was something like that. It was better than that.
But yeah, that was on the Landis. Now that's before we've turned it into what it is now. Now we have, I don't know if you've been to a show here, but all the walls light up now. It's like a mini sphere. Like
That would actually be cool
the
for
first
comedy.
show we had like after the pandemic.
Yep,
It was literally, you know, we had a good amount of people show up, but you know, it's now to the point where they're going to know it's here, you know, and
that's-
come out every Tuesday. It's
and July
it's fun to
13th
watch.
is basically the showcase.
Yes, it'll
type
be
of
the
show.
showcase.
Okay.
I'll have tickets out there. Like I said, we'll put a link out.
We'll get that all going this week.
Yeah, we'll
There
get
you
that
go.
all going, and we'll actually come in.
Look, Kaycee just
There
made
you
that.
go, Comedy Blensley. Look at you,
She just-
damn girl.
I love that picture.
See that is a great.
Such a great
That and I definitely need new headshots. I don't know who that guy is.
Oh my God, man! Somebody said the other day. Oh, it was one of the guy in a band that was a band here, and he's looking me up online. He's like, 'cause, you know, I worked with Wahlberg on a lot of stuff too. We got a lot of good friends in common, and actually I was in you were his dialect coach, and I was in a football uniform. I did stunts in that.
Yep.
But we're technically stunts, so we were working.
I was Dower fan
we were
as
working on a
well.
film together. But the guy looks at my thing on IMDb, and I look at the picture. I'm like, that was me a long time ago. He goes, oh, you're still sexy. I was like, yeah, good. Thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
So his roost is the same day as Puppy Pals. So you come for the dogs, you stay for the chickens.
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
Good, CT.
Said the dog.
Come the Crow. Come watch the Crow.
Stay
We
for the
actually, I
dog,
love it
stay for the
because,
chicken.
like I said, I now remember what I was talking about with the bird. The bird got away, so I didn't make it to the open mic.
That's right. Yeah.
But the guys had been through it so much that they did it on their own. And I was very proud of them for that. But the one guy came up to me the next week and he's like, Jimmy, I'm sorry. A lady got mad and walked out. He was like, and I went, high five. I'm like, what? Come on, man. You ain't going to get paid till you get at least 5 people to walk.
No, dude,
Nah, I'm like,
that's the truth, though.
It
is
is.
the
You know,
truth.
it is. Yeah, when they walk,
Reputation.
sometimes they walk, but that's our, you know what I mean? Our comedy has to, you got to be true to it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you try and tame it, it's going to sound stupid. If you're lying or talking about something you have
Yep.
no idea about, everybody's going to know it.
It's got to be personal.
real. It does.
Personal comedy seems to be the best comedy.
And personal means it's my opinion
Yep.
of things.
Yep.
My opinion is shared by some people, but not everybody. And it's nobody's got it exactly the same.
Yep.
But you touch on it, and then boom, you get this camaraderie with people. And then once you get that camaraderie with them, you can do things that they disagree with.
Yes.
But they'll be like,
No, you get that. You get that.
You know, but I'm not that. I really don't do politics. I do mostly just life in general and family and, you know, raising kids and, you know,
Well, I'll
pets and
tell you,
stuff. I love it.
we'll go back to the Cash Cab, Ben Bailey. He started with a couple things, but what he did that I thought was good is something I haven't seen in a long time, is he got the audience involved. Once the audience was involved, he was done being a comedian.
Yeah.
They just made fun of each other. He just made fun of everyone in the audience for the next 45
He
minutes.
was a facilitator.
And they loved it.
Yep.
They literally, the one lady had a cackle, and every time she would cackle, he would just put his head down, and everyone would start laughing. He goes, "Oh, don't you laugh?" He goes, "You sound worse than she does." Now they're cackling at each other. He had the audience. Once he got the audience involved, he had them by the balls.
It's an energy, and it really is, and it's captivating and it's contagious. So if you can get them going, you know, nothing will stop it. It's momentum.
Well, you know, we've tried again with Bob. You know, we tried to do comedy upstairs. It's tough in this area.
It is tough, and it is also.
But I think it's coming back.
Well, it's coming back, and our approach to it is we're building it from the bottom up.
Yes.
Bob came in. Bob's a great actor.
Love
Bob's
Bob.
a great
Good friend
guy.
of ours. Good friend
I
of
wouldn't
ours.
be doing comedy if it weren't for Bob.
Yeah, we
Lee.
love Bob so much.
But to do it every week,
it's tough.
It's so tough. It's
tough.
You know what I mean? We're not known for it yet. So this is why we're doing what we're doing. We're doing a free open mic that's no cover on Tuesday, 7:00, karaoke right after. So come out and make a night of it. It's a Tuesday night. You know, it's Kaycee Ray's right here in Vineland. And then we'll do our monthly showcase shows. And then every 3 months, I'll bring in a name for up there.
Exactly.
For over
exactly,
here.
Yep.
You know, and then maybe we can, you know, talk about getting the big. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
And that's where, you know, that's where we do a little better. You know, we bring things up and let these guys open for them.
Right.
Because that's the other thing too. If you have UMC and you have one of them opening and you have these guys that you say we do your
They
showcase.
bring local people as well as the headliners draw. And like I said, I do know Dice and I do know Uncle Vinny's Dino.
Oh,
he
yeah, love
books
Uncle
him
Vinny, yeah.
constantly. So there is an end.
Well, you know,
It
you know,
might happen.
Well, we have a lot of friends too. And one of my friends owns one of the hotels in Atlantic City, and he comes to a lot of our shows.
Nice.
And he had him there, and he said, "Oh man," he goes, "I'd never bring him back in a second. He gave me the biggest check." Yeah, and it was like I was like, "Oh, I didn't want to hear that because I really like the guy." But there's a lot of these.
Did he sell
comedians.
tickets? That's all you care.
That I don't know. I didn't. You know, we never asked him that.
Yeah.
But that's one of those things where I think if we can start lining up again, I'm starting to look at booking next year. And I want to definitely throw at least like every 3 months or even every other month a comedy act in, because again, Ben did good. But it's like you got to find the right one. And and sometimes comedians are like country singers. They want way more than they're worth.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I'm very fair here with bands. I'm like, look, here's the deal. You want $10,000 to play? I'll give you $2,500 guarantee. If you sell out, you'll leave with $20,000.
Right.
Double, because I will price it right, give you a percentage, and when you and the hope is, which a lot of them do, they're like, well, fuck yeah, I'll do that. And because then that's good, because now you're going to push it. We're going to get sales. We make most of our money off concessions. We don't really make a lot of tickets. They're going to get their ticket money. They're going to have a big night. We're all going to have a good night, and that's the idea behind it. But when they come in, they go, "Oh, I want like 20 grand to play." I'm like, "But you want?" And I'm like, "Well, I know you're not going to sell $20,000
Right.
worth of tickets.
Hit me high.
Yeah.
I've sold cars. I know how it works.
Exactly.
I mean, I know you want 20 grand. You're not getting it.
Yeah.
But,
but I'll guarantee you 20 if you sell out.
And what else I like about this is that my other entity that I am now involved with is AC Jokes, which is a company in Atlantic City that has rooms at resorts, Claridge, and now we're even extending out further.
Well, Brian owns Claridge. That's our friend.
Oh,
that's
there
Brian.
you go. In fact, we did they did a rooftop show.
Yes.
And it was a cannabis show.
Yes.
So, things are happening. And Atlantic City, the mayor and his assistant came out. It's the mayor of Atlantic City. But yeah, exactly. But he came out and he's like, I want you to stream any cannabis things. We want you to head it up. So, but anyway, there are going to be people coming through Atlantic City.
Do they still
that
consider
we
him the
can
mayor yet,
offer
though?
this to as well? So now they get 2 shows in South Jersey opposed to 1.
Oh,
so that
awesome.
could even entice some
And that's
bigger
a nice
names
club up
to
there.
come in.
That's a nice
it's
club up there. Yeah,
beautiful
well, we
club.
were up there for the what were we there for? The
air show.
Oh, the air show. Yeah, Brian invited us up for the air show. It was really fun because you're watching it from the top.
Oh
of
yeah,
the Claridge.
yeah, that is a nice show. And the Claridge
Yeah.
is what I like about the Claridge. It's not a casino.
Yeah.
So when you walk into, it's still huge.
Oh, it's
I mean, it
enormous, yeah.
looks so small
Yep.
on the outside, but when you get in there, you're like, oh.
Well, it's one of the original Atlantic City
Yes, it
casinos
is.
that's
Yes,
still
it
there.
is. But what I like about it is I walked in the lobby and I saw a family. There were little kids and they were running in their bathing suit to the pool.
Yeah.
You don't see that
No.
at the Borgata.
No.
You don't see that at Bally's. You know what I mean? That's what I really liked about it. So I'm like, man, there is actually a place in Atlantic City. If you got a gambling problem,
Yeah.
you can actually go and enjoy yourself. Maybe see a show. But hey.
No, we had a
but-
good time.
yeah,
Brian's actually the Claridge.
It has stood the test of
Well,
time,
they're
man.
one
It's
of
not
our
a casino and
sponsors.
it's still there.
They're one of our sponsors this year for the Battle of the Bands.
Oh,
Claridge.
that's
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah,
I hope
Brian
we
is.
didn't let it pen on the bag. did we?
No. Brian's great. Brian's great. Like I said, I love the place and what he's done. Him and his partners have done with the place. They've really brought it back. They put a lot of money and work into that place.
Oh yeah.
And it really is nice now. And they've been trying to figure out, different things they can do there.
Yeah.
Steve and I actually went down one time into his main ballroom, to try and give him some, ideas of lighting and stuff like that. His guy came here and it's just old.
Right.
And it takes money to bring old back,
Sure
especially
do.
into where
And
we are
it's
today.
not
But
nostalgic old.
yeah, but
It needs to be
Yeah,
updated.
but
old.
what
I
he
got
did
it.
with the roof is perfect.
Dude, that
it's
could
absolutely
be a
gorgeous.
lifesaver right
Yeah,
there
it is.
because
Yep.
especially if that is an open air.
Yeah.
So and there is a dispensary,
Yep.
High Rollers dispensary, right in the front of the Claridge.
Yep.
So it only makes sense.
That's
the new development of Atlantic City.
I forget what was it we saw at the we got in the room and we were going to have I think dinner with Brian. I forget what we were doing there or Brian wasn't there yet or something. We got in the room and I look out the window and there's a billboard for basically it was for huffing the
Whippets.
The whippets. And it's a billboard for it, right? I'm like, wait a minute.
Billboard for
whippet? Oh, dude, you have no idea. Like these huge
Flavors and shit.
I'm like, what
Oh, yeah.
fuck can they do that, right? So I'm like, no, I'm like, so I, of course, I go right on my phone and I find the thing, and they
dumbfounded over
when you go to the website, it's a whipped cream company.
Yep.
And you're buying
What?
you're
Flavored whipped cream
yeah.
chargers.
So
They just so happen to get you high.
that's the charger. That's the charger, and then you got to supply your own cream and shit. It was hilarious. I was like, wow, man, they're literally selling whippets on billboards here.
It's nuts. We had it for scouts, man. We would make our little racing cars and then stick it in there and pop it,
Yeah.
blow your eyeball out. But yeah, man, they're whippets.
Well,
Oh
they were
my
good
God.
times. They
And
were
they're still there.
But look, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It is.
definitely
It is
man.
July 13th. It will be
7 o'clock.
upstairs at Kaycee Ray's Jimmy Graham's comedy fledgling. I love it. It's so cool. And I mean, where else are you going to
That's
see a
perfect.
picture of Jimmy and his cock on one screen? It's hilarious. But
I said not. That is things appear larger.
yeah, your cock is
than
as
maybe.
big-
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
man.
I don't want to hurt anybody. Trust me. At my age.
But again, thank you so much for coming
Oh,
on.
absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me. I'll come back.
I really wanted to get you on for a night, and this was a good time.
Yeah,
'cause
man.
We don't have anything coming up, and we could spend some time with you.
So basically, there was
Just-
nothing else. So
No,
let me talk to
I
Jimmy.
wanted to spend time.
You know, who's out there?
The reserves.
It was
You know,
me or that homeless guy that comes
We had
in
a
at
guy
the
on.
end.
We had a guy on before you who does all the clothing for Lady Gaga and all that stuff.
Really?
He was on before
He
you.
put
Yeah.
together the meat suit.
Yeah, but I don't know if he did the meat suit.
I
Oh,
said the
I'm
same
gonna-
thing,
oh,
Jimmy.
man.
I said,
I'll tell you what.
I
was-
said the
yeah.
same
that was some
thing.
high quality prime meat
But see,
right there.
we saved you.
Wagyu.
Best for last, baby. Best for last.
Well, thank you, sir.
Again, it's Jimmy Graham, everyone.
Roundboycomedy.com.
And we there you go. What is it? Roundboycomedy.com.
That's right.
Excellent.
I
Excellent.
sold JimmyGraham.net to the football player. I swear I got $3,000 for it. I'm
There
like,
you go, baby. There you go.
he just took it and got rid of it.
There it is. Roundboycomedy.com. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It has been a fun night. Again, having Jimmy here is nostalgic for me. We have done a lot of different things together. Our paths have crossed many times in our life.
right.
And to have him back as part of our family here, it makes me feel. It really does, Jimmy. It makes me feel good.
I
'cause
do feel good,
I
too.
literally love you, man, like family.
I know we
You're-
had like a separation for like 10 years,
Yeah,
man,
yep.
and then and it just came right
Somehow,
back around.
yep.
I'm like, yeah.
Yep. And I've always loved you. Always been a
Love
fan
you
of
too,
yours,
Ray.
man.
No, by the way, Holly had her baby
I saw it.
yesterday.
I saw.
Yeah,
I actually sent her a little congratulations.
Yep.
Yeah. So how
you
cute.
know all my
Yep.
family.
Yep.
Well, she's
Yep.
no longer. Well, she's always
Well, she's
gonna be
still family. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Yep.
And my
Yep.
son,
Yep.
my grandson Shay, had to
Yep.
get sisters
Well, now
from another man. But
I
that's
saw
okay.
him, but I saw the picture of you and the kids for Father's Day, man. Oh, my
yeah,
God, he
they
got
all
big.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking at your kids, going, "Holy shit, they grew in 10
my
years."
oldest daughter's 42 years
Yeah,
old.
isn't
I'm
that
like,
crazy?
damn, man.
Time flies, baby.
I know. She's
Time
middle
flies.
aged. What the hell does that make me?
Thanks, buddy.
Lord. All right. Hey, thanks again for tuning in. Thank you to Absolute Vodka for the Absolute Vodka Live at the Landis podcast. Again, available here in the concessions. $10 a can. It's well worth it. You got a lot of alcohol in those puppies. And also Michael Kelly Guitar Company, Michael Kelly Guitars. Again, we're going to talk to Steve next week. Steve Pisani from Radio Flashback. He's Uncle Steve. He sent us one of the new mandolins,
Yeah,
which
baby.
of course you're looking behind. Jimmy was in the Michael Kelly lounge over here, and you see the
Oh,
there he is.
yeah.
Oh, hey. And of course the guitars behind us. Michael Kelly is makes a lot of good guitars, great guitars. They're back making mandolins again, and we got one of the prototypes. And we're gonna kind of let that go next week and have Uncle Steve on to talk about that. And again next week, I'm gonna see if we can get Ellen on, and we're gonna start really pushing the Battle of the Bands next week, and talk to some bands that are gonna come out. And then we have a couple announcements of other bands that are gonna be playing soon. So it's gonna be a good week
Nice.
next week. So we look forward to everything. Thank you, Jimmy, for coming on. Thank you, Michael Kelly, Absolute Vodka. And everyone in Vineland, the Robert and Greg and everyone. And of course, Christian, who came on to talk about the zombie wedding. And thank you, everyone. Thank you to the city of Vineland. And thank you to everyone who tunes in throughout the week. We love all of you, and we look forward to talking to you next week. Tune in. Good night, everyone.
Night, you dig it. Can you dig it? Can you dig it?